What's up, Nimbronies? Welcome back to episode 4 of the Nimbus Tattoo Podcast. As always, I am here, Michael, at OhCrapMichael on Instagram. I'm joined by the ever-talented, ever-handsome Mitchell. Hey, Mitch, what's your at?
It's now Tattoo Breakfast. Thanks to y'all who so kindly voted for me to change it back. So I'm at Tattoo Breakfast.
At Tattoo Breakfast, y'all. We did it.
Yeah.
We did it, boys.
We did it together, man. We
Teamwork.
really can affect change.
We're also here with Chris, the man, the myth, the legend. No beanie today.
Did I have a beanie last time?
I don't know, but
you
always got the beanie on. So no beanie today from Chris for the audio listeners. Hair is out.
Like a lion's mane today, dude. Look at this.
Dude,
I had it up all day, so now it's all like wavy.
It's all like wavy, bruh.
But yeah,
Well,
Chris House _.
I didn't
tattoo.
ask. And then we're joined by probably the strongest, most handsomest man in the room, our good friend Brett. Brett,
Hello.
hit us with the at.
At Coach_Brett_Owens. And I do want to say for the record, I did vote for you not to change your name.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did he
You're a
ask
kind
you?
person.
He didn't.
Brett, guess what? Sometimes your vote
Dude.
doesn't fucking
Clearly it doesn't.
tell that to women.
Oh
my God.
Man, starting it off strong,
yeah.
buddy. Go right into the political.
God, first we take their rights away, then Chris hits them with their vote. Doesn't matter.
I wish it did.
I had like 2 people message me, and they're like, yeah, you should change it back. It was like Josh was one of them, and I was like, Josh, I need you to do me a favor. I was like, please, just vote no. And he did. He's
I
like,
think it was
don't tell
just-
Chris that I did that. But I was like, you did it though.
It was just me and Josh, I think.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, I voted yes.
No, like, I went through the results, like, combed through them. All, like, tattooers that I knew were like, yes. And then it was like, Josh and Brett were the only 2 people that voted no.
Bro, I was
solely for the convenience for you.
No, see,
I
now,
was talking to my dad, and he was like, yeah, that's a way better name. I was like, you don't know what you're talking. You don't even know anything about tattoos.
he
You don't even
knows.
like tattoos.
Shut up,
He's like,
Dad.
that's just a better
it's a
brand
brand.
name.
It is.
It's good branding.
Look,
I was
so
like,
like
maybe
now we're having our friend come out and change the vinyl on the door. We have to get you like.
I have to get new business cards.
Yeah,
I gotta
dude.
I have to get
How
all
often do
this
you
stuff.
use those?
All the time. I use them for all my appointments.
Mitch
I
does do
use them
consults
all
and give out the
time.
cards.
But now, think about the possibilities.
There could be little eggs on them.
I'm telling you, you have to hit him with like, this is the time of your reservation. Like,
Breakfast is served. Like,
dude, you have so many.
I'm going to get that over my station. Just breakfast is served. I'm going to go to the Waffle House next door, and I'm going to take the menu. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put manga panels in the picture for the food.
that'd be sick.
Oh, you know, it's
That's
really
actually
convenient that
dope.
you now have that branding opportunity, man.
all right. Okay. Moving on
Yeah.
from the name.
Man, what a win.
What a win
Right.
for us, man. But yeah, so I put up some questions on Instagram of what we should talk about this week. We got a bunch of stuff. We're going to get the big one out of the way first. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Or wait, do you want to jump into that?
We're going to jump into Yu-Gi-Oh!
Or do you want to
first
jump
off.
into like Brett being here?
How about Brett being here? That was
I want the
about
most
Yu-Gi-Oh!
important thing.
Well, I want. Like,
I
think.
think
Okay.
the people are saying, I don't give a fuck about this guy. I want to
They're
talk
like, who
about
the fuck
Yu-Gi-Oh!
is Brett?
Yeah, but like, there's a reason.
Oh, man.
We need to like.
We ain't Hoobastank, bro. We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'm cool with whatever, man.
We're going to put it up to a vote.
Okay, I think because we have a guest, we should kind of like talk about why the guest is here.
Brett's just hanging out.
Brett, what's your vote?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Fine, we'll talk about
I vote
Brett.
Brett first. Let's do Brett
Okay.
first.
I'll talk about Brett. Because I'm going to go in the Yu-Gi-Oh! hole.
Look, I know we have to remotely keep it somewhat about tattooing. All right, otherwise we're just gonna diverge.
What's wrong with Yu-Gi-Oh, dude?
We'll get
Nothing.
there. We'll get there.
I'm
All right, we're gonna get there. Okay,
I'm triggered. I need to leave.
that's fine.
All right.
All right, so Brett is mine and Michael's personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
We've known him for
About a year.
He's also my
No, longer
he's
than
also
that.
my personal
Well,
friend.
We've known each other longer than that. We've
Yeah.
been working for about a year.
and I see a lot of tattooers that don't take care of themselves, and like they end up cutting their careers short. They're all hunchbacked, you know. They're like a crab, bro. They're just bent over. They got these like claws, you know.
Well,
And you know, it doesn't matter how good of a tattooer you are. If you can't physically tattoo, you can't really do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I was having a bunch of back problems. My ribs were displacing a lot. And yeah, man, it's I've had a much better physical time tattooing over the course of like the last like 6 months because I've like trained a lot. Like my back is stronger. And Brett kind of wanted to talk about like how your physical health can affect like your skin and stuff like that because that then affects us, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I've got a ton of clients that are similar. Like they have similar jobs where they're sitting a lot, and I think that if you do have a job like that where you're sitting a ton, you should either, you know, if you can do it on your own, do it on your own, but try to seek professional help if you can, because sitting for what? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Michael's squinting at me, bro.
Dude, we're good.
Okay.
Continue.
Sitting for long periods of time, especially when it's the majority of your day, can really affect your back, your shoulders, your hips, all that stuff. So, that's what we mostly work on with Chris and Michael especially.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it for?
I've been personal training for 2 years. I've been studying it for 11 years now.
Wow.
So, I've worked every job in the gym that you could imagine. So. No.
Yeah, if you don't take care of yourself, your skin is the largest organ on your body. So
it's fair.
Your overall health is reflected through your skin. Like I can tell if you are a smoker when I tattoo you. I can tell if you don't drink enough water. I can tell if you exercise.
Yeah, the worst thing you want to hear if you're about to tattoo someone, and I've had this happen so many times, but like someone will come in and I'm like, have you had anything to drink, or like did you eat before you came? And they're like, oh well, I had like lunch yesterday at like 2 p.m.
and I got drunk. And
yeah,
fucked.
and I'd be like, well, did you?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why do people not eat food? It's so crazy.
Or I had this kid one time. I was like, hey man, like, did you like get some sleep last night? He's like, no, I went to bed at like 4 a.m. and I was like, what? It's like, 'cause you didn't eat, didn't sleep. I know you're not drinking water because you don't take care of yourself apparently.
Yeah.
So
that just destroys your mental health too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't function that way.
Well, getting tattooed is half physical and half mental anyway. You know what I mean? Like you can just be having like a really off day and just not feel it. And then you could be like mentally there, but you didn't eat, you didn't drink any water, so your skin is dry and you're like gonna pass out because you're like don't have any sugar in your body. So taking care of both your physical and mental health is good for tattooers and clients.
Yeah.
And people overlook that all the time.
Yeah.
Like people will literally be like, yeah, I got drunk yesterday, but like I'm fine. And then you like tattoo them and like their skin is super dried up. They're like their blood is really thin.
Yeah.
Like they just get lightheaded easier.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that and the thing is like, and I say this all the time on my social media and stuff, is like nobody's telling you to run a marathon, nobody's telling you to lift 1,000 pounds. Like if you can just take 20 minutes out of your day and take a walk, like I have a friend of mine that lost 150 pounds just because she walked a mile a day, and then every day she just got a little bit better. So she'd add a minute every day, or she'd add, a certain distance. She'd go a little further, and then every day she would didn't even have to change her lifestyle at all. Just decided to walk every day. Like that's the most underutilized thing, and I know that you're a big advocate for walking.
God, we went for a 2.5 hour walk last night.
Yeah.
So we walked like 8+ miles.
Yeah.
Man, that is so needed when you just sit for 8 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were talking about it before we started the podcast, but tattooing is my favorite job I've ever had, like 100%. It's super fun. It's like great and all that. But there's also, like Chris said, it does like destroy your body. Like there are all kinds of like weird things that happen. Like again, like it's kind of a joke. Tattooers tend to gain a lot of weight usually after they start. They gain a ton of weight because you sit down all the time.
Stagnant,
yeah, you draw, you go home, your sleep schedule usually sucks.
Yeah.
A lot of them get like hemorrhoids and stuff. Like all kinds of crazy stuff can happen to your body if you don't take care of it. So I don't know. You guys doing the stuff that you do is clearly been good for you.
Yeah, it's good because I generally I go 3 times a week and I do it like before I tattoo.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like good. I feel like limber and everything.
Yeah.
But man, you will be in such fucked up positions while tattooing. Like, and because like a lot of times clients like don't want to work with you. You know what I mean? So you'll be like, I need you to turn. I need you to turn. I need you to turn. And they just like refuse to turn. So then like where you should be tattooing like a calf and just like be like straight on top of it, the person won't move. They just like won't turn their body. So you're curled up in this like fucked up position Even if you're like that for like 20 minutes, just sit like that for 20 minutes and you will want to die.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like that, but I'm like bent over. I'm hunched. Like, I'm like squinted. I'm in there, you know, and sometimes you have to do that for several hours.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's terrible. I go to the chiropractor once a week, you know,
Yeah.
and I could easily go more.
Yeah.
But if you don't take care of yourself, I mean, you're just going to fuck yourself up.
And you don't realize this either. A lot of people don't know that they think that it's when you work out you get tired, but I don't know if you've experienced this or you have, but like since you guys work out early in the morning, for me, I have more energy on the days that I train or that I work out than I do on the days that I don't. So
100%.
And John's a client of mine, and we were talking about this too. It's like, because when you make that positive change to exercise, it just bleeds into everything else that you do. So, I mean, like, your finances get better, your relationships get better, all because you decided to make the conscious decision to work on yourself, for even if it's just for 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. I mean, there are days where I'm maybe not like, you know, like, I love tattooing, but of course with anything, there are days where you're like a little less excited about certain things. There are days where like the day before I like wasn't really feeling the idea, and then I go in like after I work out and I'm like much more excited.
Yeah, you got the endorphins.
It puts me in a better mood.
Yeah.
Which means the tattoo will turn out better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes there are certain clients that are like more difficult to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And if I actually work out earlier in that day, I'm like mentally way more prepared to deal with them.
Yeah.
So it's made a really big difference.
Yeah.
Like in my career,
Mm-hmm.
which is why Mitch needs to get on.
I was going to say, we're
Get
going to get
on it,
Mitch on
Mitch.
there.
I would like to.
on.
I'm definitely. I went with Brett. I should clarify. I've been with Brett and them one time.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go once. I had a great time, and I did feel a lot better.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I worked out in like a year and a half, and we did legs, and I was moving into my apartment on like the 3rd or 4th floor the day after.
Yeah.
So like I got out of my car. I had to physically grab each one of my thighs and like pick it
I
up
felt-
and move it.
Yeah,
outside.
when you posted on your story, I was like, God, I feel horrible.
You have no idea. I was like, I walked up the stairs and I just looked up and I was like, I am such an idiot. Like, why did I think this was a good idea?
For the record, too, I try to make the environment as friendly as possible. I feel like the majority of the time we spend talking about anime or video games or whatever. So it's not like me screaming at Mitch to work out. I think it's just
No,
like
put
put your butt down.
I actually had a great time and everything. It
Yeah.
was good. It's just been a long time and I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, there's
I
a
don't
dog
know.
here now.
Yeah, there's a dog now.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So his name is Jack Owens,
Yeah.
right? The dog. And so I called him Jacked Owens.
And they make sure every
He's
time they
the
see
Jacked Owens.
every time
I
they
love
see
that.
see him, they emphasize the D at the end of the name now. So it's always
Jacked.
Jack.
It's like, that's the Jacked Owens.
That's
him.
my buddy, dude. He
Oh, I
hangs
love
out with
that.
us when we work
What kind
out.
of dog is it?
French bulldog.
He's very
perfect.
He's
cute.
just a big old
He's
sausage
a
dog.
sweet dog.
He
man.
made the comparison earlier that he kind of like has the eyes of Ryuk, where they're kind of like
Were there,
John. Yeah.
I've made this comparison.
he's got,
so
he's got like
many
the really
times.
doofy smile. He's like,
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got
man.
the summer eyes. The
that always
summer
reminds
here,
me
summer
of like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Mr. Deeds.
He's always
Yeah, his eyes
are
are
filter.
Yeah, that's my dog.
one of my
That's
friends
sweet.
a long time ago. I don't know if I said this. I may have said this joke, but he said that when people have eyes like that, it's like they're looking at their past and future simultaneously.
Yeah, dude. You gotta know where you're going. You gotta know where you're coming from.
Yep.
I love it.
Amen. Amen,
Holy
brother.
cow.
The first time I worked out with Brett, we did biceps, and I was stuck like this for 3
You guys
days.
make it sound like I'm just killing you.
You did.
Okay,
I'm sitting
okay,
here
that's
like
fair.
this, and Chris is like, "Can you put this massage table together?" I'm like, "I can't put my arms down."
It's like
I'll
it's gonna
say-
be like that the first week or two, and then your body gets used to it. John can say that it's
It
gotten
does.
easier every day.
It has gotten easier.
The
Chris
the
is
more
about to
you do
argue
it-
it's because I don't show up.
Yeah, John doesn't show up.
You said I start arguments? I just point out the facts, John.
Dang, dude.
Oof.
Chris asks me every day if John's been there.
I care, man.
That's what it is.
I'd like to say though, as much as like I know you're saying your arms were killing you and stuff like that, I know that you guys have both said that you have like a lot of like really good results from it. And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you've gotten like way stronger, like lost
Yeah.
weight, or you guys have like gotten closer to your goals and stuff.
I put a mirror in my room the other day.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
have purposely hid it in the closet.
I love
And
it.
the other day I took it out. I was like, "I'm gonna look at me in the mirror today."
Yeah, man.
Dude.
Me and Chris just stood in the bedroom the other day for 5 minutes, just touching each other.
I was like, yo, feel it.
Yeah, dude.
I have a muscle here now.
This is like, dude, grab it with both hands. And I'm sitting here on his arm like, yeah, dude, you got some arms on you. Like, grab
impressive.
mine.
Dude,
Yeah.
like,
No,
really,
you have definitely gained a lot of.
working out, bro. It's just about hanging out with the boys, drinking smoothies, and occasionally putting Band-Aids on one.
Sometimes
Is
you got to
that
put a
floating,
Band-Aid
Is
on
that
your
what
shoulder.
it's all about?
That's what it's all about. Man. We have our group chat is called the Band-Aid Boys.
Band-Aid boys.
What the hell are y'all talking about?
I don't
What
remember
does
where
that
the
mean?
inside joke came from.
We were talking about To Catch a Predator one day, and every time...
That is so sideways.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Really bad
I'll let Mitch come back. I'll let Mitch come
Sorry.
back.
All right.
We were talking about To Catch a Predator. I don't know why,
Right.
but it was every time it's like Predator going after small boy, it's always like, bro, I just cut my hand. I gotta go get a Band-Aid.
Oh, yeah, and then they walk out, and then Chris Hansen walks in.
Yeah.
You know, they was like making an excuse to leave. And for some reason, we were talking about that a lot. And,
lot,
And
yeah.
sometimes, man, when you're working out, you get hurt. You know? So
I've
you gotta
never been
have-
hurt on Brett's watch.
That's true. But, you know, we do have Band-Aids just in case.
Thank
Just
you
in
for
case.
saying that.
And then, you know, we take protein smoothies all the time. You know, you gotta like see. It's all about working out.
Gotta get that smoothie.
Gotta
in.
get them smoothies in.
Gotta get that
And
smoothie.
hey, man, if you need some Band-Aids, your boys are there.
Yep.
No one will pull out a Band-Aid on. Like
Isn't
your
this
boy.
a hilarious joke, Mitch?
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
it's so
He
funny.
was-
You want to be a
I
Band-Aid
was
boy,
like-
bro? There's room in the group
I
chat.
was like, what is the Band-Aid boy? What do you?
Don't even worry.
No.
Me and
that's
Brett
cool.
will work out these like when I'm working out with Brett. I'll always get a scenario going.
Yeah.
It really gets me into
Michael.
the mood of working out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Michael
we-
likes
we-
to imagine we're in prison.
Yeah, so we.
He's on the yard.
Yeah. So we
I'm on the yard with
All I
Brett.
can do is work out. I'm gonna be so ripped.
Oh
by
no,
the
it's
time
not
I'm
even
out
like
of
that.
here.
It's like I'm in the shower and Brett's approaching me naked, and I have this many attempts to pull myself up over
over.
this shower wall.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the only way.
Look, because you
It's
got to
the
think.
only way.
If you want to get practically strong, you got to think of a real world scenario. Do you know what I
I'm
mean?
trying to save my cheeks, dude.
Yeah.
Oh
You know?
man, dude.
Dude, if that's what gets you going, then that's how we gotta do it.
Look, you got to lift with your legs and not your back. You know, so sometimes when you're doing.
I want to
proud
point out that you
chest.
guys are like, Mitch,
chest.
you
Proud
gotta
chest.
come work out with us, bro. Like, it's such
It's
a great
so-
time. And I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, like maybe I will. And he's like, bro, I'm just imagining Brett coming up behind me. I'm like, all right,
Are you saying,
dude. Yes.
Are you saying you don't want Brett to come up behind you and like
Listen,
spot
Yo,
you?
man, there's a time where
I
Michael.
like Brett, but like,
Every personal trainer's
Michael was
No,
struggling,
I'm
dude.
gonna go
Michael was struggling. He was trying to pick something up, and Brett was right there behind him, man,
Yep.
ready to catch him.
There
You
with
don't
the
want that
support.
kind of security in your life, bro? Meet me on the yard, Mitch.
Meet me on the yard.
I'll spot you.
I'll sit there. I'm
Thanks,
just like I
guys.
got the bar and I'm like, I'm on the yard.
We've got to.
Oh,
we
yeah.
need to. That's a good movie
Let's
idea.
get it up.
Just call it The Yard.
The yard, dude.
The Yard.
well,
Michael's just running mental drills all day.
Mm-hmm.
I did a testimonial for Brett, and I did an open where I was like, me and Brett were cellies in the Georgia State Penitentiary.
I still haven't seen the testimonial yet.
Oh, I can't wait.
I hope it's
filmed
in
it
there.
for me.
It needs to
Like,
be.
we were bunkies. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But sometimes we'll listen to, anime music, and
We
is
listened
the
to the Wii
perfect
Shop
way to
music the
sell.
other day,
I take a trap remix of it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the Donkey Kong Country Underwater.
Yeah.
That's a banger.
Yeah.
what are you saying, Brett?
I don't remember now.
You're like, this is the perfect way to.
Oh, the perfect way for me to sell my training is.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's very accessible.
Come
bro.
on down.
Brett's
Yeah.
not gonna yell at
Come
you.
on down, buddy.
He's not gonna be like, get down and do 20, pussy. He's like, listen to Donkey Kong Country 3.
we're
I
listening-
got you. We're on the yard. Jack Owens is
We're
here.
listening to the Wii Sports bowling soundtrack.
Yeah, we are. That's one thing that I do
Oh,
like. I
God.
would have never done personal training if I didn't have my friend with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can go out and work out in a gym with 50 other old dudes and like, I can get an experience, or I can go listen to Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, dude.
I do want to say I've
appreciate
had a
that.
gym membership like 4 separate times in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'll stick with it with like various consistency.
It's really difficult if you don't have like some kind of accountability.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're like way more
That's
disciplined.
that's
than-
90% of my job is just being an accountability coach. Honestly,
Mm.
just getting people having that responsibility to show up.
As dumb as it sounds, because like we were talking about before, I never want to do personal training because it felt like impersonal. I'm like, I don't fucking know you, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But whenever I met Brett through the old shop we worked at, we became friends and everything. It's like, all right, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
And now, because Brett like works independently, right? It's like, well, Brett's my friend. I'm a part of Brett's income. I'm not gonna let my boy down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I
like,
appreciate that.
it's like this weird symbiotic thing where it's like, hey man, I'm literally helping you help me,
Yeah.
helping you.
Helping you,
yeah.
help me, help you.
It feels good.
And he looked at me.
And then I looked at you. But it's in the same way of like, you know, we're like attached to our clients. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like this like symbiotic relationship, and it's like fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, no, speaking of that, though, like, the relationships I've made through my clientele has been some of the strongest friendships I've ever had. I have so many clients that I mean, we're going tomorrow to the Game Exchange
Yeah, we
in South
are.
Carolina, so it's like I get to hang out with my clients. I go to lunch with people all the time. It's just, it's such a, I was telling John, it's like an overflow of positivity every day, helping people reach their goals and stuff like that. So it's always super fun.
And occasionally, just occasionally, you get to tattoo Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog on
Yeah,
somebody.
I am the infamous guy that has Sonic and Shadow both on my leg.
Those might be like my favorite tattoos.
They pop off, dude. They're
They
so
have
good.
no business going as hard as they do.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really sick.
I'm super proud of them. My left leg is the fastest leg
Yeah.
there is.
You're too slow, bro.
Yeah.
Too slow.
Mm-hmm.
So, Michael, take us to the Shadow Realm.
Dude,
Let's
the
do it.
Shadow Realm. So as we all know, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Passed away yesterday.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Love you, man. So we were asked by several of the Nimbronies to talk about our experiences with Yu-Gi-Oh!, favorite cards, favorite episodes, memories of our childhoods with it.
Okay.
I know me and you went hard.
Okay, let me say this before we say anything else about Yu-Gi-Oh. We rewatched at least the first season
Yeah, we sat down and watched the first season
very
together.
recently, and I came to the realization about something. When we were kids, I knew for a fact that the game and the cards were two separate things because they don't match, right? The show is essentially D&D with cards, and every person who's playing is competing to be the DM.
Yeah. You make your own rules on the show.
Because you're sitting there and you're like, you know, my Dark Knight enters the field, and it's like, it gets a field power bonus. The other person's like, oh no, the moon is out. But because the moon is out, the tides will rise, and that makes my sea creature increase. And the other person's like, damn, that kind of makes sense. You know?
My favorite one is like, the moon's out. I'm going to blow it up.
No, my favorite one, bar none, is, oh no, you've turned time forward, and now my dark magician is now 1,000-year magician.
Yeah.
Dark Sage.
Dark Sage. But then he's like, he goes to attack him. He's like, wait, he's so old, he's wise. He now has this special move.
Yep.
Like, it is literally just competing. It's two DMs battling it out to see who can make the most sense out of nothing.
That's a really
that is the
good
show.
comparison. I like that.
Yeah, that is literally...
Dude, and it works.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But also, everybody played Yu-Gi-Oh! But collected Pokemon cards.
It's true.
I don't know one motherfucker who sat there with the counter things and played Pokemon.
I play
I
Pokemon
collect-
I
now.
actually play Pokemon.
What a white bread motherfucker.
Bro, I didn't deserve that, man. That was my only 2 cents, Chris. Just
Slam.
Right there.
damn, man.
I play Pokemon now because it hasn't gotten so complicated to the point where some neckbeard in Kentucky can just
Yeah.
absolutely annihilate me in one turn that takes 45 minutes.
That's what Wade said.
Yeah, and it's just like, I will get on Pokemon online and I'll just sit there and just like beat some 10-year-old's ass.
Sick.
But no, I got some 40-year-old dude in Kentucky like, I'm going to synchro summon this and then we got to play this. And then he's like thumb up emojing me the whole time. I'm like, bro, I know you're going to do it. Just fucking go. Like,
You talking about-
do I need to concede?
You play Pokemon online, like, you play the card game or you play the actual game? Like
Card game.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always collected Yu-Gi-Oh cards when I was a kid. I never collected
They were cooler
Pokemon.
than
It was
Pokemon
weird,
cards.
yeah.
Well-
I never, and I had the fucking sleeve thing.
The
Oh,
dual
you had
disc?
like the
I
dual
did dual
disc.
I
also had a
Oh,
dual
it's so
disc.
Yeah.
cool.
How many times did
But
you?
I never played
You
it.
take one of your cards and you do it and you like crinkled it and you cried.
I never crinkled my cards, dude.
I had the
What?
dark dual disc.
That's like, oh, you
The
can't.
dark dual disc was like, bro, I'm about to lose money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom would be like, I just bought you these booster packs, and I'm just cramming shit into this thing.
Dude, I remember trading a kid all of my Yu-Gi-Oh collection for like all of the Sonic Game Boy Advanced games.
Oh, that's
just
a pretty
to
good- that's a pretty good
combine
deal.
the two things that we were just talking about.
We are
That's
going
wild.
to talk about Sonic.
Oh, we
later.
have.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about Sonic.
Yeah.
Really quick though, on Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah.
I'm the only one here. Probably, I don't know if John is like this. He might be, but my family was like pretty religious, and I mean, they still are. And I mean, I also am religious, but when I was a kid, they were trying to keep me like out of stuff like that when I was really young.
Oh, yeah.
And all my friends were into Yu-Gi-Oh. And I was, it's so cool. Like my friend, we were like on the trampoline. Like my other friend was like, mine shattered. And my other friend like fell back, and I was like, "Whoa, that's so cool! Like, what is that from?" And they're like, "It's from the show." And so like, I like wanted to get the cards, and my mom was like, "I don't know. I heard that was pretty evil." And I was like, "No!" And like, so I went to my grandma.
Damn, she did it.
And I was at my grandma's house, and I was like, she took me to Kmart. She's like, "You want anything?" And I was like, "This pack of cards."
No.
So I got the
I feel like
Yu-Gi-Oh
the
cards.
last person to buy the cards would be Grandma,
Oh, she
right?
didn't know. She had no
Yeah,
idea what it was.
I guess that's fair.
And so I got the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I brought them home, and I was so pumped, dude. I like popped it open. I was like,
Yeah.
going through the cards, and my mom found them, and they were gone. That was my entire.
No.
That is why I am not as into Yu-Gi-Oh as
Dude,
like you.
we
or
had
Russell.
me and Chris
Something
had
got
dual
taken from you.
discs.
That's why I played Pokemon.
Yeah. Dude, okay.
We
Go
had
ahead,
dual
I'll
discs. Chris wore a Millennium Puzzle on a chain.
wait. Dude, you were badass. Huh?
Dude.
Fun.
He was
His
like Flava
his
Flav.
birthday parties-
Second grade.
Birthday parties at Chris's house during the Yu-Gi-Oh era was we had a fucking tournament.
Yeah. Ooh, I have such a good story.
Dude,
So
hit me with
there's
it.
this kid I grew up with. His name was Steven Banstra. Okay.
Shout out Steven Banstra, dude.
So he had a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, right? And this is around the time where Russell and I became like really good friends. And Russell and I were both like positioned to go to this tournament and beat some fucking ass.
I love it's just a tournament in this kid's living room, and you're like,
So-
dude, we're positioned great.
So right before
My deck is so strong.
it was well because Russell had just gotten Jinzo.
Oh,
then,
shit.
And then I just got like the last piece of Exodia. So I had full holographic original Exodia before it was a bunch of common cards, right? And like the day before, it was like Friday, right? Or no, it was the day of. You weren't supposed to have Yu-Gi-Oh cards at school
Yep.
because they banned them. So Russell and I were trying to like trade cards out. You know, we're like, you had to like put them in binders and like slide them to people to like make transactions. It was like making drug deals in like the 5th grade.
The school district was really weird. You couldn't bring anything.
Yeah, like if there was Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they banned it.
It was
right?
gone. You lost it, and you did not get it back ever.
So we were like legit like doing fucking card deals and shit. Like I remember kids like putting them under like lunch trays and being
Yep.
like, you know what I mean? You like
classic-
you swap the trays.
The
It
classic
sick.
was you put it under your milk carton, because that's before we had the bags of milk.
Yeah.
You put it under the milk, and you'd be like, hey, dude, you want my milk? And then you would swap it out.
You had bags of
Yeah, we had milk pouches.
Okay, that's another story. We'll get into the
We'll
milk
get into milk
bags after
pouches
that.
later. So that's a whole ass thing.
We
Yeah.
also had to tuck in our shirts, but that's a
South
different thing.
Carolina, crazy. So, Russell and I were like trading cards or whatever, and we got fucking caught in the middle of class, right? Teacher took our decks, bro. Russell and I went to this lady when the bell rang, and we had a long conversation with her. We pleaded our hearts out.
Please, I'm gonna beat this kid's ass at his birthday
literally
party.
used the heart of the cards, and we got our decks back. We pulled them back from the Shadow Realm, right? And then we went to this birthday party, and Steven Bannister was sick, so he was like not playing anybody, but he was like, I want to play the winner, because he was like known as being like really good at the game. So he's like, I'll play the winner. So the whole day while we're like battling, it was like you had to wager a card for everyone. Right?
Yep.
Because that was high stakes.
This is how we played it at every like kid's birthday party.
Yeah,
by the
you
way.
came like if you were gonna play, you were gonna play to win, right? And so kids were crying, getting their cards taken. Russell and I make it to the very end. I beat Russell because I pulled Exodia on him. It was
It's a
sick.
good play. It's a good play.
It was. So I beat Russell. I forget what card I took from him. But so I fought Steven Bannister. Right? And I won. And it was his birthday. And I sure as fuck took his time wizard from him on his birthday.
Damn, that's
some cold
dirty.
stuff, dude.
Good.
And you know what I did? I forgot to get him a birthday present. So you know what I did? I gave him back his time wizard.
You were
It
like,
all worked
you're
out
like,
for
I'm a
you.
fucking good Samaritan. Here, take your stupid time. with
Yeah,
it.
but I thought about
Happy
it for a minute.
birthday, loser.
Yeah. He's like,
I don't want this.
Hold this
pathetic
L.
card.
He's like crying. There's snot because he's sick. And I'm sitting there with that time wizard that I wanted so bad. And I was like, you know, man, here's a pity card.
Yeah.
Take it.
Fuck you.
And
I
then
don't need
I for some reason I remember playing Wind Waker for like 7 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
As
about
we
how
all
that
did.
went. Favorite card? You have a favorite card?
Loop back to me.
Mitchell, do you have a favorite card?
Dark Magician's cool, but
Yeah.
like, that's
Mitch
just the only one I know.
Come on,
dude.
Mitchell.
That's like being like, what's your favorite Pokemon? Like, Pikachu. This is the yellow one.
I
right?
really like Pidgey.
I will
Yeah,
say
something like that.
probably for nostalgia reasons, I think Red Eyes Black Dragon.
That's a good card.
That
It
is
was
Yeah.
the first holo I pulled out of a pack ever,
Nice.
and then my brother swindled me and took it.
Yeah. Dude, he did that shit, bro.
He really did.
Oh my god. I have nightmares about it.
I was like, oh, Red Eyes Black
like-
Dragon. He's
he's
like,
like-
it's not that good, bro.
He's like, I'll give you this
Yeah,
stack
yeah,
of
you don't want
40
that.
cards. I'm like 7. He's like, I'll give you this stack of 40 cards if you just give me that Dark Magician with the alternate art. And I'm like, 40 cards? And I trade it, and my mom's like, what the fuck did you just do? And I'm like, made the deal of a lifetime, Genie. You don't understand.
You don't understand. It's one card, and this is 40.
This
It's
is
a numbers
40 of
game,
them.
bitch.
Quantity over quality.
Hungry Burger.
Okay.
If you guys don't know about Hungry Burger,
I don't.
it's so funny. It's literally a burger that is like...
It's hungry.
It's hungry. Yes.
It's so tight.
It has like fangs and shit.
Are you
Yeah,
looking it up?
it does.
No,
No,
really?
I
Okay.
remember it from the first grade, Brad.
I don't remember.
Hungry Burger and then Rescue Ferret,
Hey,
which is a ferret and a
Ease
hard
up a
hat
little
and a
bit.
vest.
I think everyone we would be remiss if we didn't at least mention Pot of Greed.
yeah.
Draw 3 cards, dude.
I think Pot of Greed was the first holo I ever got.
Really?
It's just
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
hungry burger.
I do remember
Oh,
that.
that's actually pretty sick. I like that.
I just remember it was like I used Pot of Greed to draw 3 cards, and now I drew Pot of Greed, so I now draw 3
I
cards.
remember when I was a kid, I loved Dragonite, and so Thousand Year Dragon always made me. That's the right name, right? It's
Yeah.
Thousand Year Dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It always made me think of like a really
And then
old
Rescue
Dragonite.
Ferret.
Oh,
cute.
that would be
He
my
looks like
favorite card.
Pabu.
If
It's
I had
so
to,
cute.
if I had to
dude.
pick a
It's
favorite
adorable.
card, it would be that.
I
one.
have
don't know
7
what
of
it
these
does.
fucking things.
I don't know
Yo,
what it is.
Every
but
time I
love
see it, I'm
it.
like, that's the cutest. fucking
Doesn't
yeah,
it look
that's
like
great.
Pabu from Avatar?
It does. Yeah.
It does.
Has he got a little hat on?
Yeah, he has a
jacket.
little vest. He has flashlight
That's cool,
and shit. He's
man.
like, I'm ready to rescue,
I love
babe.
that.
I think he'd be in Fire Force.
Yeah.
Brett, do you have a
He's
favorite
cool.
card?
Yeah, the Thousand Year Dragon.
Doesn't your dragon?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He was gonna say the ferret.
Yeah, man.
That one
Actually,
right there.
Rescue Ferret's actually
Yeah.
pretty sick,
Yeah.
Yeah.
man.
So, here's the thing for Yu-Gi-Oh to talk about that not a lot of people seem to know. So the anime that we know it, where it starts off and they're like, Kaiba shows up and does all that shit. That is technically season 2.
The man. Dude, let's talk about Seto Kaiba for a second. Man steals from an old man, kills him.
Gives him a heart attack,
Yeah, makes him have a heart attack,
and then steals his shit.
and then steals from him, and he's dying in the hospital.
I watched the first like 36 or 7 episodes like a couple of months ago, and I liked it, but it was just like the voice
It's because
acting.
there's an entire season before
Yes.
it.
I know.
So here's the
the
thing.
voice acting was really what got me. I couldn't
I know.
handle it.
Yogi.
So yeah, there's a full manga that takes place prior, and they
Yeah.
animated most of it, and it's referred to as Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0,
Yeah.
and it's basically Kakagiri.
Mhm.
It's like a torture porn thing.
I never knew this until you
It's not
guys told
torture.
me about it.
There's a no. It
People
is.
get lit on fire.
Yeah, but that's
It's like
that's
it's like
a
the game that
different
people
thing.
play where they like put their hand out with like a knife and they like do it, and it's like if you cut your finger off, you lose, you know. And it's like, yeah, we're both drenched in kerosene. Like first person to get caught on fire loses, and they're like setting each other on fire in the school and shit.
Yugi just blinds a kid at one point.
Like
He's
Yami in the original is basically like, do it, kill him, fuck him up,
Hell yeah.
and Yugi's like, I don't know, man. He's like, do it.
Hell yeah, dude.
What if he was blind? And it's like, that what he's gonna
I
play
need
the
to
game?
read that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Take it from
from
him.
a marketing standpoint, they made the right call with what they
Oh,
did.
100%.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
they were
it
gonna
was
cancel
like-
it.
Go ahead.
I was just say that just sounds like such a really like cool. Like,
Yeah,
I, don't know,
we
that
I would
were-
watch it now.
We were talking about that with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles earlier too. It's kind
Yeah.
of the same thing.
Oh yeah.
The original is like way darker.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they got to a point where they like went to him because it was in Shonen Jump, and they're like, "Hey man, so like this is like freaking kids out,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, you're scared.
So you either hard pivot or it's a wrap."
Yep.
And he's like, because there was just a bunch of like games, and he's like, card game. They're fucking, they're doing cards now, you know. And then like there's like little bits that like shine through like later on that's like reminiscent of the original, like when Bakura shows up, and they like take no Pegasus. I'm sorry, when Pegasus shows up, and he like in the show, they're like, oh, they got his Millennium Eye, and in the manga, they're like, give me that shit. And they like rip it out of his
Like
face.
the Shadow Realm isn't the Shadow Realm; it's just hell. Yeah. It is. We sent you to hell.
It's like, oh, you died during this card game, burn, bitch. Like it's insane.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's kind of hardcore.
It's sick. I love it.
He literally banishes people's minds. So he basically he's like, you're a vegetable now. Wish you trained harder.
Yeah, and they're just there.
Let's go get these star chips.
No
Aren't
mental
the-
process.
Aren't the rules of the game in the show like really inconsistent
So
and don't
what
make sense?
happened is the show and the card game were being made simultaneously.
Yeah.
So they were like, here's the list of the 15 monsters we've made. You can say those names. But if you watch the first couple episodes, it's like, I summon my dragon. And it's just a dragon. Or, I summon this goblin creature.
They did it with Celtic Knight at first. They're like, my knight.
Yeah, they go, my knight.
I like that.
So
card
it's
a lot,
like
too.
stuff like that, because it was being made at the same time. It links up eventually. But it's like 40 episodes in when they're like, okay, we can't do this, guys.
Yeah.
Make sure you sacrifice.
But apparently later on,
Tribute summon, guys.
so Wade Whitman, the tattooer who we had come by a while back, he used to be a professional Yu-Gi-Oh player. So he was kind of telling us that like eventually later on, it does line up and they play by the rules.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like 5D, they're like actually playing by the rules. But like in season 1, they're like fighting on Duelist Kingdom. And he's like, I summon Karibo, and Karibo multiplies. It makes a wall of Karibos. And now I'm invincible because if you kill Karibo, 2 Karibo appear. Get fucked.
I think that's why
Yeah.
I stopped watching because everything was just like.
It's like, I
whatever
summon my
works.
Harpy Lady. My Harpy Lady has armor. She also has whips. Her whips do
Yeah.
extra damage. But they also do extra damage because your creature's a male. And it's like, wait, what?
And it's like, and they're in the sky, and I have destroyed the land, which
Yeah.
means I get a bonus. A
And
field power
everything
bonus.
is falling. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And
I
the-
love it.
And everyone's just fucking cheating. Like
Everyone's cheating.
Weevil's like, let me see those cards. He's like, fuck your cards. He like throws them in the fucking river. And they're like, you can't swim. And he's like, I'm trying to get them. They're my grandpa's cards.
shouts
He's
out
in
to-
the hospital.
Shouts out to Joey Wheeler,
Joey.
who can't swim, jumps in the ocean for some cards,
Off
dude.
of a cruise ship.
Yeah. And then Mai is like spraying her cards with perfume. Like
Bro,
she just must
bro,
smell
stop.
like what?
Don't talk bad about her.
No, I love Mai. But like she literally sprays all of her cards with different perfumes. And there's
Yeah.
like 50 cards per deck.
Yeah.
So this lady just has like this stack that smells like a fucking like Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
no one notices it until Joey's fighting her and he like closes his eyes. He's like, I smell a lot of perfume.
Yeah. Yeah. It just smells like a TJ Maxx.
It's crazy. It
She's-
makes no
She's
sense.
psychic, okay?
Yeah, everyone's cheating. Like all like the top duelists, they're all cheaters.
I know. That's why.
I don't think
that's
Rex
why-
Raptor cheated.
No, but he did try to like assault Mai.
He did. He did
Yeah.
try to do that.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm a dinosaur guy. You want to sleep in my room?
Yeah, he did do that, and then she kicked him out.
It reminds me of that arc in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or not Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course. In Naruto, where like they have to cheat in the exam. Like,
Yes.
that's the test. They're like, can you? Yeah.
I love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You have to cheat, not get caught, and Sasuke's just there. Sharingan out. He was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Win by any means necessary.
Dude,
But then Pegasus cheats. Literally, like you get to like the
yeah,
final
he's,
boss.
he's reading everyone's mind.
Yeah, he's sitting there reading everyone's mind, and he's like, "Guess what? By the way, I invented Duel Monsters, and now I'm gonna do Toon World. I created it. You've never heard of it. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I remember
It's
that.
bullshit.
I make the rules.
When they get to
now."
Battle City, that shit is awesome.
But one thing about the original season that I love is Bandit Keith.
Bandit Keith.
Bandit Keith is just Chad Kroger.
I love Bandit Keith so much.
He shows up, he loses against Pegasus, and just pulls out a fucking gun.
Yep, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy.
He's this dude who has like a fucking American flag bandana, wears sunglasses.
Oh,
He has
yeah.
a denim vest,
Like, literally
cut off
remember him.
sleeves.
Like he is like the background dude in Creed, right? He's just there, and then he loses, and he's like, "I didn't expect this," and just like,
Yeah, I do remember that.
I
remember that.
gotta say, I don't like Chad Kroger, but I feel like that's not really on brand for Chad Kroger.
hold on, I'll
Look
show
up-
you.
Look up Bandit Keith.
I mean,
real
maybe he
quick.
looks like him, but he's like, you like pulled a gun. It's like
How
Chad
many times
Kroger.
did
It's like,
Nickelback
He's a
pull
I
out?
sweet
don't think he's
Canadian. He
ever
doesn't
done
own
that.
guns.
yeah, the Canadian guy with all
the American flag.
stuff
That's
on
even
him.
better. That's funnier.
I would love that.
Dude, Bandit Keith.
No.
Bandit
is
Keith.
sick,
He looks
dude.
like
see.
somebody else. I'm trying to think who it is.
Oh yeah, dude.
this guy goes to Rebel
That
Fest.
guy's so fucking
Yeah,
cool.
he has a motorcycle.
Carolina Rebellion.
Oh my god, he
Right.
bought the 3-day pass.
Oh yeah, dude. He's right.
See, he's like, "You cheated. It's time to die."
He just pulls the gun out,
Yeah,
But
dude.
in
and
the
then
original-
Pegasus just vaporizes his brain.
See, look at this dude. gunpoint.
That guy has to have like
he
the
fucks.
beast claw tattoo with like the rebel flag.
He's got the
underneath it.
monster logo tattooed on him.
Yeah.
He's Rob Deerdeck.
Yeah.
There we
Dude,
go.
I
That is
love it.
Rob Deerdeck.
That is-
It all
that is
comes
him.
together.
But in original Yu-Gi-Oh, they couldn't show the guns. So like people bust into rooms and they just hardcore point. They're like, "Yo, you're coming with us."
There's at
and
one
Kaiba
point.
jumps out of a fucking window because people aggressively
Yeah.
pointed at him.
At one point, they're holding briefcases.
Yeah.
They bust in the room, and he holds a whole ass briefcase like this. He goes, "Slow down there, Kaiba," and he's like, I gotta get out of here. And I'm like, what? He's gonna file your taxes? Like, bro, what do you mean you gotta get out of here?
Oh man.
Dude, he also he bails out the window and then like goes into hiding, finds an underground like thing.
Oh my
that he builds,
god.
and his his computer is like sentient, and they're
It's
trying
like
to,
Karen from SpongeBob.
yeah, and they're trying to like break into like the Duelist Kingdom or whatever. And you know what he does to break into the firewall? He literally puts a bomb in the firewall.
Yes.
Like they put dynamite in it. And they're like, we're blowing up the firewall.
Like,
and it
like digital.
Yeah.
bombs.
it
So
cuts
he's-
and there's
he's
like an
sitting there-
actual.
He's sitting there typing. He's like, I've got this. And she's like, what are you doing, Seto? He's like, I'm blowing up the firewall. And they put a bomb in it, and then it blows up, and then a rabbit goes, not so fast, Kaiba. And it's like, bro, he got antivirus bunnies.
It's
Like, what is
sick.
happening?
There's like a little like coyote with like a little like
Yeah, it literally is.
To get into the mainframe, it's a door to a safe in a computer.
Yeah.
And he has to
It's like
open
you
it.
know that
gotta-
people have no
How
idea
else-
how hacking actually works.
Yeah.
That's the movie
How
Hackers.
else are kids gonna know what's going on? You have to have that visual representation.
Well, like you
That's
already
so
have to
funny.
like suspend like your disbelief to watch like anime, but it's like if you can just suspend all reason,
Everything.
you can just enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh for what it is.
I loved
Yeah.
it.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Sitting back and watching it again, I was like, dude, this still fucks.
Yeah, I think. Well, I watched a little bit at the shop whenever you guys had.
Oh
it
my
on.
god, we watched it for like 7 days straight.
Yeah, I watched it probably a year
Dude,
ago.
Yu-Gi-Oh 5D, where it's you duel or you go to jail.
You can duel to get out of prison.
Hell yeah, that's
It is sick.
That's a scenario that we could use.
You can duel the guard.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get out, guys.
Yeah, I'm proud.
What kind of monster would have like a field advantage in prison?
Isn't there that one that he wrote? There's that one that he drew that had like
Too
just a
deep into
giant
this.
Oh,
dick,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, he got really tired of like the manga and like all the oversight. So there's like this one creature that pops up and it's literally just like a big veiny dick. And like later on, he was like, "My bad, man. Like I was going
He's
through
like, I
it."
was in it.
I'm going through it, dude. Just drawing dicks everywhere.
Have,
What can I
have
say?
any of y'all played Persona by any chance?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Persona 5 is kind of like that, or I guess the other one's probably
What?
R2. Like,
Yeah.
Dicks?
no, yeah,
It's
Like
just like
veiny dicks.
everything is like very. I wouldn't say sexy, but
it's
I guess
like
it
it's like
is.
it's supposed to be have like human psychology in it. So like you go
Yeah.
into people's like minds, so
Yeah.
you'd be like in this dude's like perception of himself, and like it's kind of, you like collect. It's almost like Pokemon. You like catch. They're like.
Do I have to
Yeah.
play the
things.
other ones to play this one?
No.
No.
Oh, I will,
No,
I will
it's
just
like
play
you
it.
Final
should
Fantasy.
definitely play it. It's good, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's like random. There'll just be like a giant like anti-monster.
Well, yeah, like
Hell
the first
yeah,
guy that you
dude.
fight in that game is like a pedophile
Yeah.
gym
What the
teacher.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
have to like go
Oh,
into
the
his
game
head
is-
and like take him down, and like in his head he's just like a guy with a crown in his underwear, and right.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of like teenage girls like in
Spoilers
his,
for
Yeah.
Persona
in his
5.
cup that
Yeah,
he's got,
and he's
Yeah,
got like
it's-
the teenage boys are all like in jail or something in his
It's-
head.
They need
really
some
weird.
band-aids.
Yeah, they do.
It's crazy. But anyway,
Chris
just
Hansen
reminded
opens
me of
up the
that.
door into the thing. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Have a seat right here.
Have a cookie.
You don't know
No, I
why?
don't
Because
want
he's
this.
always in your mind.
He's always in your mind.
He is. He's
playing
everywhere.
mind games.
Dude, shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh! If anybody has the Yu-Gi-Oh manga, bring it by the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? For Christmas, Michael actually got me replicas
I did.
of some of my favorite cards where they look like they did in the show.
They're
Where-
so accurate.
Yeah, so it's just like the big picture and like it has like their life points on it.
That's sick.
Dude,
I'll have to show it to you
they're
after
so
this.
cool.
Yeah.
They're really fun. I got like two blue
I should buy
eyes.
that as like woman repellent for my room. I got all the berserks in there.
Yeah.
I have to pee, by the way, so y'all.
Dude, go pee.
Yeah. You have
Well,
all the.
I got all the deluxe editions.
Yeah.
And they fit perfectly in this thing.
Yeah.
So I just want to open the door and go, not today.
My shelf is full of Berserk manga, and it is like caving in.
Those things are
deluxe
so
editions,
heavy.
like 10 pounds a piece.
Really quick, now that Chris is gone, for anybody that's listening, okay, we're about to dogpile him for his terrible opinions on like Berserk and everything else.
Yes.
We were talking about this right before the show started, before you walked in.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Chris doesn't.
He's a fucking hater, dude.
dude, he is. You have no idea.
Berserk
Chris-
is so good.
Chris is not a fan of the art.
Which is like the craziest thing.
Me and John, like,
I fucking
could
love
Yeah,
handle it.
John is sitting over here right now, and he's got a. I did a manga panel from Berserk on his thigh.
I've got my
Brett has a
Berserk
shirt on right now.
I just finished reading like the third deluxe volume like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Me and John have matching Band of the Hawk tattoos on our leg.
Yeah,
We do, that Mitch also did.
that's exactly right. So
Yeah. So we
I
gotta
should get that.
yeah.
Dude,
join the.
Come
crew.
on, man.
let me know, man.
We're happy.
Can you
Do you have space
dude,
where
black
we
and
all
gray.
got it? Tucker has it too.
Yeah, we all got it on the side of the leg.
Hey, I could, I'll have to ask Chris because this leg is reserved for a Yu-Gi-Oh collab
I can.
Oh,
I
yeah?
can do it on your cheek.
on my butt cheek.
Ooh,
Butt cheek, bro.
The cheek.
I could do that.
Cheek of the hawk.
Cheek of the
Cheek of
That
hog.
just
Hog.
installs more repellent, man.
I feel like Griffith would probably be more into that anyway.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh man.
Femto in particular.
Yeah.
So when Chris gets back, we'll maybe talk about that. Or if you want to do the next like topic, whatever we got.
The next topic, I mean, the next one was ducks. Was literally what it said.
I think I know who
Sick.
that is actually.
Sick, dude.
I have stories about aquatic fowl if we need them.
Dude, if you want some good duck content, go to Mitch's Instagram.
Yeah,
He's got some
I
solid duck
like-
content.
There's this place across the street from my apartment. It's this like really cool like little trail like around a river and stuff. And there's these ducks that are always out there. So I like posted a couple of them on my story. And like there's this guy that if you're listening, you're like one of my favorite people on Instagram. But like every single time I post something, he's like, "That's pretty good, but it's not duck content."
Not duck
I'm like
content.
you're
Duck content.
you're
We gotta
not
get
wrong,
more
man.
ducks. Get more ducks. on your-
Anytime I post one, he's always there. He's like, "I live for this." And like he sends me
He's like, fuck tattoos.
Get
I
this
signed up
man-
for ducks.
so many reels of like ducks, like just like them like running and stuff.
Get
And I'm
this
like,
man on the
I
show.
kind of love it. Like it's great.
we got to get this
Dude,
man on the
DM
show.
So-
him. Get him on the show.
So we can either go topic or we can go what we just talked about a second ago.
What?
So Chris doesn't like Berserk.
His opinions are bad. Let's hear
Okay.
it.
Oh.
All right.
Here we go.
All right. Let's just fucking do it. So,
Let's rip this Band-Aid off.
Point one: Chris can't read.
thanks, man.
Sorry, Chris only does dubs, so that's all right.
So,
Sorry
okay. I'm going to say this, and I know for a fact
that you're wrong.
that there are other anime tattooers that I know that I am friends with that agree with me about this, but they will not say it because people will get mad at them. But to quote that guy who left me a shitty comment, I will cast the first stone.
I will catch
Fuck
him.
that guy. Side note, fuck that guy.
Shouts
But-
out that guy, dude.
Yeah. So, I think that Berserk is very well drawn. I think it is, like, the guy was very talented. No disrespect to the man. I know he recently passed away. Okay. I had this take before he died. Okay. So it predates.
I thought about
when
this
he was
before
sick.
it was cool.
I like
So,
it.
He was chronically ill, dude.
Yeah, I know. Like, that sucks.
That's when Chris hated it, when he was
Yeah.
chronically ill.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Get better.
Yeah.
Dude, can you just like get better?
John's cringing. I can hear John
Yeah.
cringing.
Okay. So I think it's incredibly well done. I think the art is like, Starscream, stop crying.
He actually
That
did.
actually.
that's
I
crazy.
bet.
That'll last for 2 seconds. So I personally am
I'm
not.
just gonna let him in.
That's fine. I am personally not a fan of the Berserk art style. I think it is too much. I think it's hard to read half the time. Not the words, but like
I was just
The-
about to say something. About
the-
Not helping your case.
You know that
pal.
vine where he's like, Jared, can you read number 9 for the class? He's like, no, I cannot. That's Chris right now.
it is visually hard to read
Yeah.
a lot of the time. And I think that for me, it's It's not my taste.
He's treading so lightly right now. It's
Well, because I know y'all are gonna come at me, and I'm gonna have to like.
It's
I'm,
the greatest
I know
story
we're
ever
giving you a
told.
hard time about it.
I'm
but-
like I'm tiptoeing into it because like I know inevitably in this conversation I'm just gonna be like, yeah, fuck it at a certain point. So I'm trying to like give myself like a platform beforehand to like stand on. So at least I'm like trying. Like, there's like logic behind it
I love
before
how
I'm.
aware of yourself you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I know. I'm just gonna say I fucking hate it. Like, I know I'm going to. Okay.
Okay.
You want to read it?
I think.
You want to read it?
No.
Starscream just bumped his head into my tattoo.
Yeah.
That's
So
really bad.
I think the problem for me with it visually is it looks like it doesn't know what it wants to be. Right? So it is highly detailed. It is super fucking detailed, right? But like proportions are off.
John has like a vein that's about to explode in his
right.
forehead right now.
And it just
It was made in the 80s, dude. Come on.
it looks and I don't really like 80s art. And it looks like it's stuck in that time period, but it's like too detailed for like being like a manga or an anime. And I think that's why like it's tried to get adapted twice. And that's why it doesn't look good.
Dude, 33 days.
I actually agree with that. I think that it does not work well, like being adapted to an anime,
Yeah. No.
because of the way that things are drawn. Because it's like it's either not a faithful
Well, I mean-
representation or, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know what it's like being an artist in that way, but when you go from drawing in the 80s and then having to both grow as an artist but keep it consistent from what you had before, I feel like it's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah. Well, also like
Am I wrong?
no, you're correct.
Yeah.
And like okay, so like I just personally don't like it, right? But then to take it a step further, me as a tattooer, right?
Yeah.
Bro, tattooing Berserk in color is a fucking nightmare.
black and gray, it's sick.
Yeah,
I
black
was
and
like,
gray
I
is
would
fucking
love to
awesome.
do more Berserk
It-
stuff.
Hey,
but-
It's
when are your books open, Mitchell? Because sign me the fuck up.
it's so busy. It's so much. There's not a lot of like colored reference for it.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's
And-
moody. Like,
And what it is,
definitely
it's
like
just
that.
muted.
Yeah.
And so people are like, I love your colors. They're so bright. But I want Berserk. And I'm like, fuck.
You're like, I got 26
That is
episodes
a
of
fair
anime.
point, I think.
Like it's so difficult to translate. And it's like, and I've done it twice, but like it has taken me so long to draw those two tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, if I'm surprised I was able to pull it off because they've tried to do it twice in this show and they clearly can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
I will say the older anime, that one's actually pretty good.
I like the old
I
the
love
90s
the old
one.
anime.
Yeah,
I
that
love it.
one's actually pretty decent. But the newer ones, I think, kind of struggle with that a little
Like,
bit.
it's
so.
too detailed. Do you know what I mean? Like there hits a point. We talked about it before. It's like there's like a point diminishing returns where it's like, bro, I don't need to see his molars in his mouth. There are too
oh,
many.
His,
oh,
his
but-
molars are my
oh,
favorite
I
part.
do.
Do you know what I mean? It's, like it's too much. Like, and
Well-
like I think less is more sometimes.
I love when I have 7 panels of guts swinging this sword, and it takes 7 panels for this fucking thing to get
Yeah.
anywhere.
It's just page after page of a
and I'm
different
like,
part
this
of the
is
sword.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
like it's cool. Like I think it's cool. I really do. But for me personally, it's just not my shit.
I love when I get
I think it's
12
too
panels
much.
of a dude falling, like
Yeah.
off of a castle. He's just like, okay, next page. Oh damn, he's still going. That's a long
I
drop.
think that Chris, I'm being real with you, bro, because
Okay.
I love you, and I think you have a lot of great opinions on stuff.
Okay.
I think that you do not like manga in general. I don't, because you're like Demon Slayer looks like garbage. You'll be like,
It does.
Berserk
Here we
looks
go.
bad. I'm trying to think of like another.
No, I didn't
I-
say Berserk looked bad.
You don't. Like
I said
the way
it's
it
too
looks.
much.
and but those are some like common elements.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
in
Like okay. I
manga.
like, for
I
example.
will say I don't like the way the Demon Slayer looks in the manga either.
Yeah, it looks like shit.
It doesn't look shit. It looks
I
okay.
don't think it looks like shit, but I
Compared
do
to
not
the
like
anime.
the way it looks.
The anime is like on a different.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they just pumped like a Disney level of money into
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
animation.
They were like, we
so-
got this.
Well,
bitch.
like
She's
okay,
gonna
for
do this.
example, like I like for things to be consistent and like very readable.
Yeah.
For example, like Death Note looks great in both anime and manga. I think My Hero generally looks pretty good in both.
Yeah, actually,
You know?
My Hero actually is
Like
really
I
good.
like consistent, like I like detail, but not too much detail. And part of it probably is like the style that I tattoo.
Yeah.
Because I look at everything visually as like I can't look at anything and think and not think about how would I tattoo this.
Yeah.
It's just like so ingrained in my brain. I'm pretty sure like Brett sees like Chris Hemsworth and he's like, what did he do to do that? Do you know what
I
I mean?
absolutely
It's
do.
steroids.
The new 4.
You're like the answer. Steroids.
Well,
It's
that is
steroids.
the answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I definitely did that.
Like if you work on something like religiously, your brain is entirely wired to think about it in that way. You do black and gray, that's like really small details. You're probably like, Berserk is sick.
I do.
I see it, I'm like, what a fucking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
Yeah.
so you're naturally geared that way. You know what I mean?
It is tough to argue, for me at least, it's always tough to argue with art and like people's opinions on art because it is so subjective.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't agree with it necessarily, but I get what you mean. Like, we were talking about the deluxe editions, and there's 2 full pages of like a mural of Nosferatu Zod that I just look at
Oh man.
occasionally.
Yeah.
But something like that's that detailed, right? It looks really cool in like a frame, right? Like look at all the old Dragon Ball artwork that's like on a poster or on a shirt. It's like 5-tone shading, hyper detailed, and it's like doesn't look like that shit in the anime.
I also
It doesn't fucking work.
I want to point out to you that like as much as I think stuff like the Nosferatu Zod or like what you were just talking about, like those things are really cool like in a certain medium.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff does not always work really great for tattoos.
Yeah. That's
All
fair.
the time, someone will send me something and say, I really want to get this as a tattoo, and I want it to be on my leg, and I want it to be X, proportions.
I want to be about medium size.
Yeah, I want
Oh
it.
my
I want it
God.
palm sized. Which you say palm sized. I don't know if you're a 5'2" small like little white girl, or if
Right.
you are a 6'8" like.
Construction worker.
Yeah, I mean those are huge differences in size, and or you'll say I want it half the size of my calf, but if you're doing a tattoo, you have to make sure that it's going to hold up well, so it has to be a certain size, and there's certain like spacing that you have to have for things, and Berserk does have some really crazy stuff in it sometimes. You have to make choices.
I mean,
about
no,
what you
like
include and
I'm
what you
not
don't.
gonna disagree that there are some panels where I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta really look at it because there's a lot of black and white, and it's just like him slicing through 20 dudes with his sword or something.
Yeah.
So I get that.
I'm also not particularly into like excessive amounts of gore.
I am.
Chris also has
I
a Watchmen
love it.
I
tattoo
am
on his
definitely
throat.
into that. What'd you say?
You have a Watchmen tattoo in your throat, which that has some pretty crazy moments in that.
Yeah,
I gotta say.
Oh, true.
it does. But like,
Chris
I think,
doesn't like people getting shot in the eyes with arrows and getting cut in half, like horses getting cut in half and shit.
I don't.
Guts.
It hits a point for me where it's like gratuitous.
Sure.
It's
I
like,
love it.
for
That's
example,
fair.
I like suspense movies. I like some horror movies. I don't like fucking Hostel. Do you know what I mean? Like, it hits a point where I'm like, why are you doing this?
I feel like
Yeah,
Berserk
man.
does it right though. That's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's subjective.
I-
I don't.
yeah.
Then that's
I know.
totally fine. But like, I personally don't want to see a panel of a horse getting cut in half with all of its stuff fucking atomically correct.
I do.
I want
It's
to see
not.
It's so
I was
sick.
just thinking the same thing. I was like, I want to see that.
Like,
That sounds
it's just
crazy.
not. It's not my speed.
There's
That's
like a
fair.
panel of Guts
fair.
cutting some dude in half, and it's like his brain matter's coming out. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking.
Yeah, well, I mean,
insane.
there's like the one fight where he's fighting like an entire army alone when Casca and him get separated.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
dude.
like
man.
he literally spins his sword and slices through like 40 people at once.
That's such a
I love
I
it.
love
yeah.
that.
That's such a
Love
yeah.
it so
anyway.
much.
Can I ask a question,
So-
by the way? Because like, I'm not like really into Berserk or anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
clearly. But I've noticed something, and I don't know if it's intentional. So when did Fire Emblem come out?
After, I think.
Oh no,
after-
Fire Emblem's been out since like the 80s.
Is
Hold on, we'll look it up. Hold on.
Because
I
it was on the
wanted-
NES.
I want to know which came first because
It might be
specifically
Fire
Ike. Because
Oh.
Ike and Guts
I
look.
think
I came way
super
after.
similar.
Ike was in the GameCube era, bro. That's
Yeah.
way.
I feel like he
after
was
that.
kind of modeled after Guts.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
Chrom was the first like hero in all of the Fire Emblem games. I'm
Chrom?
pretty not Chrom.
No,
What's
that's
the
Marth.
Marth? That's
yeah,
it.
it's Marth.
Because I know a lot of.
Ike was created in February of 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Because there's a lot of stuff from other like mediums in Japan
I
that's
mean-
heavily influenced by Berserk.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII is like
like
the big one.
so
the big
much of
one.
Elden Ring.
well, Dark
Elden
Souls.
Ring. Oh,
yeah.
Any of the
all
any
of-
Souls game, that man is like
Yeah.
yes.
He's-
Like the brand of sacrifice from Berserk is the Bold Hunter's mark
Yeah.
in Bloodborne.
The creator of those games is like that. He's basically tried to make a Berserk video game.
Okay.
So I mean, like all of those games there's some sort of Berserk reference in
Yeah.
all of them.
Every single one.
I hit my
Well,
mic.
that was why. I mean, I know we're just giving you a hard time about your opinion on it, but like,
Yeah.
it's a really like hugely influential piece
Yeah.
of like media.
Well, I mean, it's go ahead.
so.
Yeah.
No, that was really what I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
I mean,
you
it's
know?
kind of like what John was saying about like bands like Metallica and stuff. How like
Yeah.
it's easy to say that it's not good now.
Yeah.
But just the fact that it's been so
But for
influential.
the record, I never said it wasn't good. And
Chris-
I never said it was drawn badly.
People are gonna be mad at you anyway.
I've
That's
got to
fine.
say this really quick. I've been staring at your shirt, Brett, for like the last hour
Yeah.
because it was folded on the M. It says, by all accounts, it was a hulking mass of iron, but it was folded on the M, so it was a hulking ass of iron. And my brain for the last hour, I'm like, what is that letter? Like, is that like what is the letter supposed to be?
me.
Yeah,
Ass
it
of
was.
iron.
when you stretch it out, it's
I was like really. I was like, what is that word? Because like I don't know what that letter is. It was like this weird game of what is it?
Yeah.
Not Wheel of Fortune.
Hangman.
Yeah, whatever. Hangman.
Yeah.
All right, so I haven't said much during this whole
Oh,
shebang.
this is John's shit, dude.
It's okay.
Yeah, his
well,
cat's name is Guts.
exactly. Okay, so exactly what you just said is the reason why I'm going to chime in now. So, I obviously didn't have much to say on Yu-Gi-Oh. I obviously didn't have much to say like if y'all talk about Pokemon or really like Demon Slayer, like a lot of different animes. But man,
The fuck was that, Mitch?
Audio just
Mitch
got
is just
fucked.
really upset.
Mitch
right
has been lifting. He's just been doing it away from us.
now. Yeah, that's what it is.
Mitch
Okay,
is really mad, bro. Got
So-
some short energy over here.
Oh shit.
That's
Brett.
that short guy from your shop?
It is.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, sorry, John.
Short guy likes man with big sword. Surprise.
Yeah, that's
Go ahead,
me.
John. We're interrupting.
And you too, John.
Yeah. All right. So Brett introduced me to Berserk. What, like January 2020 or 2021? Last year.
Last year, yeah.
Last year. Okay. So since Brett has introduced me to Berserk, I've gotten 2 Berserk tattoos. I got a cat that I named Guts.
And has read the entirety of the manga.
The whole thing. And fun fact. So I got the day I met Mitch is also the day I got a Band of the Hawk tattoo when he was apprenticing, and also happened to be the day that Kentaro Miura died.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Pretty like
John's
weird
fucking
coincidence.
Connected, dude.
So all right. So anyway, all that to say, like I have a deep appreciation for anime and manga now because of Berserk. However, I haven't caught up on like a lot of stuff.
It's a gateway, dude.
It's
is.
like the gateway.
It is.
For me, it was like this is what got me into it because it's such a well written story.
The story is incredible.
Yep.
Yeah. And I have nothing against any of I think people have told me things about it that I think are really questionable.
Sure.
Oh well, I mean,
But-
sometimes
yeah.
he's going through it.
I
But
mean,
again,
that time period was pretty questionable.
nothing I've said is a knock on the story.
No.
The guy who wrote it,
Mhm.
the quality of the artwork. I'm just merely pointing out what about it to me is unappealing and why it is unappealing.
It's okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like you're
like-
more so saying that to the audience than you are to
Well,
us.
honestly,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
but like,
You get
there's
that.
a lot of things like, okay, like John, for example, right? There's something about Berserk to me that doesn't make logical sense as to why you would like it,
Yeah.
right? So John is religious,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and Michael was like, check out this spread, and it's like an
Yeah.
orgy scene where a girl's fucking Baphomet, and I'm like,
Yeah.
John loves this. John works at a church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, it doesn't make it.
Dude, it's their satanic hexing
But you
ritual.
told
She's
me-
she's trying to save her
But
mom.
then you told me there's a. But then you told me that there's a part
Michael,
in it
no,
where
no,
like
no.
Guts sleeps with a dude to like advance his plan or something.
Griffith.
And I'm like,
Guts don't swing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
makes
I'm
it
just.
clear
I
that he
guess I'm
doesn't.
just like really confused about a lot of the stuff that happens in Berserk.
I
It
think
helps if you watch it or read it.
I
I
think
don't want to watch it. It looks like shit.
that's okay. Yeah,
I don't want to
to
read it because I don't like the fucking art.
Well, I'm happy to get into some of that, at least on my end of why I like it. Okay, so for me, it's one of those things where, okay, so since we're talking about me being religious now, so all right, so I have a worldview, right? I have like a biblical worldview, correct? Okay, so with that, like scripture is full of like a whole bunch of like different things that are, you know, not necessarily like don't necessarily make sense today, modern, whatever.
Or ever,
okay.
but yeah.
Okay. So with that, it's like Berserk is high fantasy.
Yeah.
And it's but the core of the story, the moral of the story is perseverance, no matter what. So it's like all of the messed up stuff is just a parallel to all the junk you go through in life. And for me, it's like, yeah, I can get behind that 100%. And maybe my own humanity does appreciate the gore a little bit and the violence and the guts, you know, like on some vengeful path to right the wrongs that were made to the love of his life and all these things. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, like, I can.
At the end of the day, it's a love story, man, about just a big man with a sword going after a little man with a sword.
I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I can like when people talk about it, they're very passionate and like it's probably the same way that like I'm super passionate about Star Wars. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
I also love Star Wars.
Arguably less bad Berserk content than Star Wars content.
probably. But I mean,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but
Go
you
to
know
the
what?
internet.
I guess we'll see though, because a lot of the reason that is the way it is because the original creator no longer does it.
Yeah.
So I guess you'll see now.
We'll see.
Will it still be good? Will it not?
Apparently, this
The past two issues have been pretty solid. The
Yeah.
newest issues.
Yeah.
He hasn't been
chapters.
like heading the project for a while.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I guess we'll see. But like, I guess I don't know. For me, I have like a certain threshold for like high violence stuff. I have a certain threshold for like making a point.
Mm-hmm.
And if the point is like perseverance, that's cool. But at a certain point, it's like, did you really need to introduce the rape horse?
Oh, you guys still?
Do you know what I mean?
Let the rape horse be.
That's where I'm at. Where it's like, if the moral of the story is perseverance, all that kind of stuff, that's cool. That's whatever. But when you start introducing shit like a fucking rape horse, I feel like you've lost the plot.
I feel
You've
like
gone too far.
If we leave this in the podcast and we post this on YouTube, I feel like we're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that
For
out.
the
Using the
Wait,
word rape would
what?
probably, I
Will
think,
it?
is like a.
Unconsensual.
No.
If I just say it's not
No.
made for kids.
no, what'll happen is like you just can't monetize it.
Oh, okay.
Which we weren't anyway.
Oh, we're not making
Yeah,
any
we're
money
not
on this
making-
shit
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, that's how it
that's
works.
fair.
So anyway, leave the rape horse alone, man. It was a very good plot element.
I'm just saying, it hits
Oh
a
my
point where
goodness.
it's like, it's too much.
If you
For no
had
reason.
a random person walk in this room and you said that guy, you said that guy doesn't like Berserk and this guy does, I would be so thrown off. Because
John is like
from
this.
looking at him,
Yeah, he's like
John's
this
a sleeper,
guy.
dude.
He got this floral shirt on. He's like big smile on his
Hawaiian
face.
shirt.
So I guess like in my mind,
Yeah.
for
He's
some
like, you
reason,
see in episode 16 where Guts just absolutely annihilates this dude and just kicks his head across the battlefield. It's fucking sick.
whenever I think about anything that's like high fantasy, I always like for some reason equate it to like Lord of the Rings in my mind because it's very like visual.
Yeah,
sure.
So like, for me,
It's
if,
just like Lord of the Rings.
yeah. But if for some reason if Sauron was like, "This is my rape horse," I'd be like, "Too much, bro. I'm out." Like it's not. I'm not here for it.
Oh,
Right,
those are different aesthetically though. Like it's okay for one to be like more graphic.
I think
or
the
something.
rape horse is only in like what? Like half
All
a
right, we
chapter.
got
That's too much.
we gotta move on from
Wanna
this,
get back
guys.
to the
Like
rape
it's
horse.
this is,
Anyway,
That's Chris's whole
hit
point.
us
It's
with
that's
the
where
next
I'm
topic,
at.
bro.
It's like I have a line.
we've hit the.
We're peaking a bit.
I'm sorry.
Alright.
I have a line that like I've drawn for myself where I know it's
Sounds like a pretty
too
lame
much.
line, dude.
Where I know like it is too much for me
My goodness.
and it's too much for me.
that's fine. That's fine. And I want us to.
I
We're okay with that.
Yeah.
totally, and I have truthfully, I have very high respect for that. I think maybe sometimes I should probably have harder lines than I do.
But see, I'm a very like hard line person. It's just like the way I am.
yeah,
And
Chris is
speaking-
all or nothing.
Chris
Yeah.
thrives in a I have to be in this box.
I love
Yeah.
that.
That's just the way I
Well,
am. And speaking of that, this is a perfect segue to something someone wanted us to talk about, which are what are the things in tattooing that makes you want to fucking die?
Oh,
Drawing circles. That's the only input I have because that's all I do.
I have zero input, so.
That's fair. You can equate this to training though too. So things for me, right? Yo, never say the words fucking medium size. Don't fucking do it.
That's why I peppered in medium sized. I knew it was gonna make him
I
so
hate
mad.
it. Like, what the fuck is medium size, bro?
Dude, it's just medium
do you know what I mean?
size.
Like,
yeah.
What are you not
What
getting?
else do you want me to
because
say?
okay, for example, like I have my entire back tattooed, right? That is a large tattoo.
It's medium. Yeah.
That is a large tattoo.
Yeah.
A medium sized tattoo is literally it can be like this big.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Dude, no, your back is XL, dude.
no, but like,
come on.
it's so bad. Like you'll try to be
It's a
corresponding.
subjective thing.
It's crazy subjective, and
Yeah.
you'll tell someone, tell me in inches, and they're like, I don't know, maybe somewhere between like 4 and 10 inches.
Okay.
The fuck is wrong with you? Like,
That's a wild range, yeah. And it's like that's.
but people do that shit to you all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That gets on my nerves so much. That is one thing. The other thing we kind of touched on earlier: eat before your tattoo.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not your dad.
Yeah.
Like, you know to eat.
Get Coach Brett to
Yeah.
help you with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of that, my roommates, Mitch tattooed my friend Abby, who's one of my roommates, and my wife, and I had to yell at Abby to go grab a sandwich or something before she came in, because it's like, dude, why do you not eat anyway? But
I have
definitely
never
not
eaten before a tattoo.
That is
No,
so
it's
dumb.
terrible. I actually tell people, I'm like, if you need to be late for your appointment, and like if it's you eating like a chicken sandwich before you come, or you
course,
just
it's a
not
fucking
eating,
chicken sandwich.
then I love a chicken sandwich. What do you guys think of chicken sandwiches?
This
Chicken
is the
sandwiches
second
are
time you
good,
brought
man.
chicken sandwiches today.
I like chicken sandwiches, dude. They're
Dude.
good.
Did you go to a restaurant with Mitch?
I would rather
Chicken sandwich.
I would rather somebody do that than like not eat. You know?
Yeah.
got
Lawful
it.
good paladins always eat
Yeah, dude.
chicken sandwiches.
I got another
Who's
one.
this deity?
Come on.
Jesus Christ.
Another one. Changing your idea the day before or when you walk in the building. The number of times I've seen someone walk in and Mitch is like, hey, here's your design. And they're like, actually, I changed my mind.
Yep. I see it at least once a week.
Like,
No, it's not once a week.
Oh, dude, I've seen you going like, okay, I gotta change this.
no, it's
It's
that is something that's terrible. The other thing that makes me want to die on the inside is when I try to convince you of something and you don't listen. And then halfway through the tattoo, you decide to listen to me and it fucks everything up. Like if I tell you, hey man, we should do this in color. It needs to be in color. And you're like, nah man, it's gotta be black and gray. It's the way it has to be. And I get halfway into the tattoo. We're 4 hours in and you're like, you know man, color would be kind of sick. Guess what?
Too bad.
I approached it differently because you told me you wanted it in black and gray. And I told you that was dumb. Now here we are. It's never going to look as good as it would be because I did half of this shit in black and gray.
Yeah.
You done played yourself. Now you're going to be mad at me when it doesn't look as good as it could be. You know what else I hate in tattooing that makes me want to die?
Here we go.
When people don't listen about aftercare.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
rough. Ugh.
When you spend $1,500 on something and then you don't listen to me on how to take care of it and then you fuck it up and then you get mad at me, I hate that. Yep.
We give you a card.
We sure do.
Mm-hmm. I will defend Chris's honor anytime somebody starts bitching about aftercare.
Sometimes aftercare is hard.
Sure. Oh,
Like,
it's really annoying.
If you get like a knee or the side of the knee or something that bends weird, yeah, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But just don't be an idiot about it.
And also, I paid thousands of dollars for this tattoo, and the guy that's tattooed for 12, 11 years did it. Gonna do what he said. Not gonna do it some girl that I heard
You
from.
know what? We're going to talk about that. So, Brett has a guy he's friends with. I tattooed him. And his first tattoo, he asked me, how do I take care of it? Explicitly tell him.
Mm-hmm.
But man, this girl he met a week ago sure did convince him that I was fucking wrong.
Bro, was she
Didn't
tatted?
know what he was talking about.
She's like, make sure he wipes you down with green soap to sterilize the area.
Bro, this girl convinced him to take off the Saniderm, and he messaged me. He's like, what'll happen if I take off the Saniderm?
It was
And
2 days after.
I literally
Oh my
messaged him
God.
back and I said, don't you fucking do it.
yeah.
Leave it.
Leave it on.
I also told him.
Do not take it off under any circumstance. And then he hit me with the, but what if I did?
I hope you have
You
a
already
roll
know
of
it's too
saran.
late when
Yeah.
someone says
And I
that. it's like,
messaged Brett and I said, I swear to God. And he was like, he already took it off.
I hope you have the roll of saran wrap ready, and I hope you're ready to wash this
Chris,
thing 9
Chris
times.
Chris was texting me while texting this guy while I was also texting this guy because he's
Oh
like
my God.
freaking out about it.
He's like, well, what will happen? I was like, you will pay me. 100% for this tattoo again if you fuck it up, knowing full well you knew what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
That is what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, cool, man. I just wanted to check.
Mm-hmm. And then
wanted
he
to
sends me a picture of the Sanoderm on the ground with the
Oh,
tattoo.
man.
Yeah.
God.
That
Well,
makes me want to die.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Is it? It's my turn for
Yeah, go for
this. So I don't think anything makes me want to die, but most of the things for me that really bug me with like tattooing is less of stuff in that vein besides people showing up. People showing up for the appointment and wanting to change it. I don't generally like. I'm not gonna be like angry with you if it's not anything too crazy. But if you ask me for a huge piece and I've stayed, I spent 4 or 5 hours drawing this thing, and you show up and you're like, actually, man, I was thinking like 2 weeks ago, like, what if we just did like a tiger or something
roll it
instead?
back a little
It's like,
bit.
yeah, I can do that, but why did you make me waste the time doing? You could have just messaged me, like I wouldn't
2
yell
weeks
at you.
ago when you came
Yeah,
up with
any time you could have talked to me about it, and that would have been way better than making me do all this for no reason. Which I think is just very inconsiderate. Or if you're going to not show up for an appointment, tell me beforehand. Or if you're running late, because the number of times that I have people that are running late or they have to reschedule, and I contact them after they're supposed to be there, and I'm like, hey, are you still coming? It's like, oh, dang, bro, I actually just realized I have to be somewhere. Can we reschedule that? And that bugs me because I have never been that inconsiderate in my whole life. And I mean, if you're listening to this and you've done that to me, I don't hate you. I'm not trying to like call you out, but I need you to recognize that that's a huge waste of my. I could have booked something else. There are other people that I have DMing me that are like, hey, I'm trying to continue something I've been working on. There's so many like different things
your
I can do.
livelihood.
Yeah, and so it doesn't make me think you're a bad person, but it is, to me, it's objectively a very like inconsiderate thing for you to do to me, and I just think about that whenever you're trying to get a tattoo done. If you have personal stuff going on and you message me or Chris, honestly, like really any time to be like, hey, something's coming up and this appointment a week out from now or 2 weeks out from now, something's happening, we're never gonna be mad.
Oh
like
my
that's
God,
life.
just let 'em out.
That happens. You can let the cat in. And that stuff bugs me a lot, I think. But I think if there's anything that really drives me crazy, it's usually personality stuff.
What?
Man, his cat is really
Oh, you brought us
on
the
one.
mouse.
Yeah, just leave the door cracked real quick to kind of like piggyback off of that.
Sure, go ahead.
So, for example, I was supposed to tattoo a guy today, and he hit me up, but I didn't see it until 5:40 in the morning.
Or he messaged you at 5:40.
He messaged me at 5:40, and he told me that he couldn't get off work on time. He had to travel here. Like it got fucked up, and he's like, I'm so sorry. Like if I need to put down another deposit, I will. Like I really want to get tattooed, but like my work got in the way. That's fine. I will work with you. You let me know in the most timely manner you possibly could. I'm not going to fault you for that, right? But what Mitch was saying, if it's like your appointment is at 10 and it is 10:40 and you are not there, and I call you and I'm like, where are you at? And you hit me. That was
Oh, you
cute.
got the mouse, buddy.
That was very cute. Come here. Come here.
All right,
I'll
for
be
the audio listeners, Starscream has got the toy mouse,
He's the star of the
and
show.
he is showing us that he has brought
He's
it.
being very sweet.
He's tired of not being the star of the show.
But if you show up like 40 minutes late, or if I have to call you and it's 40 minutes after or something, and you're like, oh man, like, yeah, I'm just going to be late, bro. Why do I need to call you for you to tell me you're going to be late?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a life outside of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a girlfriend. Like, I have, like, things at my house. I generally have things in my life that, run on a kind of schedule. Like, imagine if someone just did that shit to you.
Yeah, your job.
And all of a sudden, now you're going to get home at 10 o'clock at night, and you had plans at 8.
Yeah.
Like, I can't just, like, sit around and hope that people show up and hope that you show up on time. Like, you have to have, like, repercussions for things. And, like, yeah, it might suck if you lose a $300 deposit. But you know what sucks more? I lost 80% of the money I was going to make that day.
Yeah, if you think you're going to make $1,000 and you make like like
You make
$200
a
or something. You're like,
deposit,
whatever.
A
it is,
deposit
like-
that I took 7 months ago. Like I didn't
Yeah.
make shit today. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that sucks, man. Like I have bills to pay. I have a life, and I kind of like to be able to plan things. And I can't every day. I can't be like, yeah, man, I'd love to go to this movie, but who knows? My guy might show up 3 hours late because he doesn't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like you can't live your life that way.
Yeah.
So that was one of my things. The other one is I think when people take tattoos too seriously, and to kind of expand on that, it's not your fault if you've never really been tattooed, or you don't like have a lot, or you're not exposed to it, and you maybe come with your friend for your first tattoo and you're trying to get to like know what it's sort of about. But when someone has gotten a single tattoo or something, and they show up and they think like me or Chris are this like persona, like whatever their image in their head is of like a tattooer, and like I can tell when someone's like trying to be like
What's up,
tough,
dude? I heard you were
they're,
Mitch.
Like,
My
working on
name's
my sleeve.
my
I'm
name's
just like,
Spider.
all right, it's like, dude, it's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't get like upset with people for that, but I do. In my head, I'm usually like, oh my god, like I don't have these conversations, or someone will say something to me thinking I'm gonna like agree with them, or be like these pussies out here that use like numbing cream. I'm like, I'm using numbing cream on you right now. I'm like,
They
it's
just
like
don't do it like they always do, man. We had bigger needles back then.
it's like, if you're into like the toughness thing, like there are a lot of people that like that. I guess I think that's kind of dumb personally.
We had the shot.
I will say that I thought that I was that guy, and I have 2 very shitty tattoos that I've got to get rid of.
I mean, no, it's okay. If someone's like, I don't want to use numbing cream, and like I just have I have to prove something to myself. Whatever. That's not like my problem, I guess, if that's where you're at in your life. But for me, I think it's weird when you come in and you expect me to like crap on people for. It's like tattoos don't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be this like aesthetic or something. Like, all kinds of different people get tattooed, and I think when you just want us to be a certain way, like that always like just kind of bugs me a little bit for some reason. I'm just like, all right,
I think some people show up and they're like almost disappointed because Mitch and I are just like
We're all just chilling watching How I Met Your Mother. And it's just like, it's like, sorry, dude, we're gonna draw Goku today, and we're gonna watch season 4 of How I Met Your Mother. Like,
it's like, or they just like are trying to be like cooler than they need to be, and it's like it's okay.
like
you're gonna listen to
they're-
cartoon running sound effects.
Yeah, like people are like, oh man, I
Michael's-
think these people are so cool, and like you show up and I'm listening to like sad emo music, and I'm like, man, I wonder if this restaurant has vegan options, And you're like, I thought these people were tough.
We were watching the Game Grumps while I was getting my tattoo. The whole
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, dude.
So if you're expecting us to be super fucking cool,
Yeah.
we're not.
It's not gonna happen.
I also think that it's probably a little weird for me to have that opinion, because a big part of like tattoo culture is, I mean, it is. It's like it's all aesthetic. Everything about it is aesthetic. So for me to be like weirded out that someone has a certain image in mind and they like that is probably a bit backwards for me to feel that way. But it does kind of like rub me the wrong way sometimes.
You get those dudes who are like, I don't want this Pinterest bullshit.
Yeah,
And you're like,
I'm
sir,
I've done
I
like
went to the
5
Sailor
tattoos.
Jerry Pinterest board to get your sparrow.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's this was pulled right off Pinterest, bro.
Like,
Isn't that funny though? Or those same tattooers, they get so mad about that. They're like, man, Pinterest is so fucking stupid. People just get the same generic thing. All right, which Sailor boat, Jerry boat do you want?
you're like, do you want this one or do you want this one? He only drew one.
And honestly, that's fine.
There's
It
4
really is.
Panthers.
That's
Pick one.
okay.
Pick Panther 2.
It's just well, even like, and then we're getting into a whole other thing, but that's why I think it's funny whenever I have like talked to traditional tattooers and they're like, oh, the anime tattoo thing is just stupid, bro. Like they're just out here.
These are tried
just
and true designs.
tracing stuff, or they just like talk about it. It's like, yeah, it's the same thing. Or
It's all
Dude, I am
Yeah,
perfectly fine with if somebody comes in and I am like, I want Panther.
yeah.
Same guy 2 days later, I want Panther. I'm like, looks like we're doing this other Panther.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, like literally every style tattooing, people for some reason they get like mega elitist about it. Like you'll have those trad people who are like, it's Jerry or fucking nothing, right? Fuck all this other stuff. And you literally have like the same selection. And then you go to, and they're like, these fucking realism artists, like, it's bullshit. And then it's kind of like, hey, which photo of your grandma do you want?
I
you
want
know what
this
I mean?
one. She has a Jerry Rose in
then,
this one.
And then you go to like neo-traditional, and it's like, all right, which animal paired with which flower do you want?
Yeah.
You want a fox with a chrysanthemum, or you want like a peony with a fox?
Do you want the bear
We'll
with
just
the
like,
sunflower?
like flip them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's like, which geometric pattern do you want? Do you want like a circular one or like a spiky boy? You know, like it's all the same shit, bro. It's just like a matter of what you want.
Just what you want. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
people just get so fucking
They get
hard
so
up about
into
it.
it,
Like
dude.
one is way more like artistically challenging or the other.
You know, I guess my thought on all this isn't to. I'm not trying to shit on. I don't think you were either, but like I'm not trying to shit on like traditional tattooers or anybody like that.
Nah, dude, that's my goal.
Just if you like something, get that thing.
Yeah.
By
Because
the
no
person
matter-
who does it.
No
by the
matter
person who does it. Do your
what you
research.
get, literally no matter what you get, somebody is going to think it's stupid,
Yep.
or someone's going to think that you're not getting real tattoos.
And hey, that's
Or-
their problem.
That is their
know?
problem.
That is Man
And
in Waffle House number 4's
if
problem.
you don't have any tattoos, there's going to be someone that's going to be like, "Wow, look at that pure, that pure, yeah, pure." Well, that doesn't
yeah,
sound
yeah,
good.
we can't say that.
Somebody didn't buy a ticket to hell.
Yeah, you're always gonna
Oh,
run
gosh.
into sleep.
But you should just do what you think is cool. That's really all it comes down to.
Yeah, you're always gonna run into some dude at a gas station who's like, I can't believe you got that shit on you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Dude,
so
Go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
thank you. So speaking of that, it wasn't that, but it was sort of like that at the barber shop yesterday with my Sonic tattoo. The guys there loved my tattoos, but there was one guy that was like, before I left, he was like, "Let me ask you something. What about the movies made you want to get that on your leg?" And I was like, "Well, I played thousands of hours of Sonic as a child." And he was like, "Okay." And then I left, and I was like, does that guy not know that there's games that this is based off of?
No.
But I mean, it wasn't anything negative. It was just like a
Well,
weird.
It's like, hey
thing.
man, what about that Georgia Bulldog makes you want to get that tattoo on you?
Yeah, people
Maybe because you fucking like it.
people
Yeah,
ask me
yeah.
all the time. They'll be like, what does that thing in your arm mean? And I'm like, it's usually someone's like grandma or their mom or dad. And I try not to get into a whole thing with them, but that always makes me laugh because none of them mean anything to me.
No.
And like honestly, I'm not saying that tattoos don't mean stuff to people, so like don't take it the wrong way if you're listening
Sure.
to this, because I think sometimes they can, but I feel like you're kind of being dishonest with yourself if you get a tattoo and you're like this like. I remember somebody got like a pumpkin on them from Chris years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Great tattoos, cool like neo-trad pumpkin, some stuff, and someone was their friend was like, "What is this for again?" They're like, "This is for my mom because my mom loved pumpkins." And I was like, "Bro," like, my mom hated tattoos. And I'm like,
Okay.
"This?" I was like, "You're getting this because you think it's cool."
Yeah.
And that's a good
Yeah.
enough reason.
Yeah,
You don't have to tell me
absolutely.
this for your mom. I mean, maybe it was for their mom. I don't
Yeah.
know them, but like it's to me, it came across like you're just trying to find like a reason
to have.
because you want to be like, "This is for my tragic backstory," and it's like you don't have to.
People
have
come up to
that.
me in the
Like,
grocery store and they're like, "What's that mean?" It goes, "It means I had 45 free minutes and a friend that wanted to do something."
Honestly, but like
Yeah.
you know what I think mine are though. Like to me, I remember what I was going through for each tattoo that I got because like the first one I ever got, I'd been through this like breakup with someone, and I was hanging out with Chris, and I was like 18. Chris was like, "Hey man, it's like 2 a.m. He's like, you want to get a tattoo?" And I was like,
I got a picture of this just
Yeah.
in case it's needed.
"Definitely." And like like so I went and got this tattoo. Meant nothing to me.
Yeah.
No idea why I got it. And everything else has kind of been like that ever since. And that's fine. You know, It works for me.
We have talked about a lot of negative things. What are some tattoo things that you guys absolutely love?
Yeah.
Let's get positive in
I love
here.
you, bro.
Okay.
Let's get
Thank you.
positive.
Hey man, you want to know? I'm friends with you.
Hey,
Hey,
man.
that's
give it
it.
up.
That was so
I
awesome.
met Brett
Love
through
you, babe.
tattooing. I met John through tattooing. Everyone in my life I'm incredibly close to, I met through tattooing. My girlfriend, she works at this specific place that was in the same building as a tattoo shop I used to work at. I met her because I tattooed. Tattooing has given me everything I have valuable in my life other than my mother.
There you go.
I just want to point out I did not meet Chris through tattooing, so that was
Yeah,
a
I was
very
about to say, I didn't meet him
offensive
either,
statement to me.
so
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's cool.
he knows me out of
But-
obligation.
No, but like tattooing means so much to me, and the people that like I cared the most about, I've like brought them into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's so special to me, and I have the coolest job in the world. It's like a weird, crazy life hack. You
Yeah.
know? Like I put in the fucking Sonic cheat code in life, and all of a sudden, like all my homies tattoo and like
Yeah.
like work, and I just watch How I Met Your Mother at work.
Yeah.
And like draw Sonic the Hedgehog, you
Oh,
know?
Yeah.
And I'm like highly successful,
Well, it's
but like
anything-
not by conventional standards, but also kind of by conventional standards.
Yeah.
I'm a small business owner and I like Goku.
You
know?
doing
Like,
anything you're passionate about for a living has got to be the best life.
I think something about tattooing that I do love is that we're kind of talking about earlier where I'm like very hard commit on things. I'm like either like all or nothing, right? And tattooing is very all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like my brand in life is I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it all the fucking way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This podcast, for example.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like,
We're
Which,
also-
by the way, really quick, because like we talked one time
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
it.
it was
I
a
think
passing
I was the one who even
conversation.
said, I was like, maybe like, because me and Chris, we go for these like 4 or 5 hour long walks. Like Michael does that too, and like
Yeah.
we'll just talk forever. And I was like, man, we already talked so much. Like we might as well like do a podcast someday. Chris texts me like 2 days later. He's like, I have like a massive Amazon
Yeah.
order. I got
Yeah, he
everything
just
we
slides
need."
John a giant sum of money.
yeah,
Yeah, that
like,
shit was
all
great.
right.
John's like, well, it'll be about this much, and Chris goes, this will cover it. And John's like, I will send you pictures of me putting it in the bank. I will send you a picture of the
Dude.
receipt. I will send you a picture of this.
I handed John like, what are the kids got? Like a couple bands, you know?
I think I messaged him and I was like, hey man, like I like respect the like commitment, but like maybe like take we can like take a baby step into this.
Diving
like,
head first, baby.
Nope.
No, fuck it, dude.
I
Like,
can
what's
respect
the
that.
point?
I can respect it.
If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it all the way.
I
Like,
actually do like that about you.
Don't half-ass
Yeah.
something, whole-ass everything.
yeah, like I was like, I'm gonna start working out with Brett. I was like, cool, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Man.
And you had a partner.
I did. Yeah,
stuck with it.
someone already bailed on
Yeah.
me, and I still did it.
There you go.
You know, like I'm very hard commit on things,
Mm-hmm.
for better or for worse.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
think
need people like that in your life.
I think we're gonna like on the tattoo liking thing, not to change it back, but that was just a quick aside.
Yeah.
on how
Yeah.
you are. But on things that like I love about tattooing though, like I really just like feeling like free. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is the one job in the world
Mm-hmm.
that functions like this.
If you
And that's-
don't work for a piece of shit,
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's very conditional because it's the one job that can work this way, but it doesn't always come out like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really fortunate that I get to work with like one of my best friends, and like I like me and Michael are like very close, and like I just get to be with
School, baby.
I get to be with people that I care a lot about, and I've gotten to meet so many really cool people. And I've worked so many different jobs. I used to work HR, and I used to work at like retail. I've worked fast food. I've worked in a pharmacy. I've done all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
And those are like fine. And it doesn't really matter, I think, what you do, as long as what you do in life, you like try really hard to make it the best that you can, or you do the best with it. But it's so cool that I get to go to work and tattoo like something from the Legend of Zelda on somebody, and like,
Yeah.
just talk to them about like their life, their kids, stuff they like, you know?
And I wish so many more people did that. I think that everyone should have some sort of artistic thing that they can dive into, because being free within yourself is so fucking important. And there's so many people that are just like dragged down by whatever
100%. Yeah.
life and shit, and no one, I feel like it's hard for me to talk to even some of my best friends like about that kind of stuff, because they don't understand, like sometimes they don't understand because they don't have that outlet.
Yeah.
And I remember you talking about your parents just being very open with you, and you being being able to kind of be that way your whole life. And I could not like agree more. I feel like that kind of thing just needs to be something that everybody should experience.
yeah. I'm waiting for this to backfire on me, because I feel like I push people into like being more free in their lives.
Yeah.
Like
They don't want it sometimes.
I convinced Mitch to come here.
Yeah.
I convinced Michael to come
Yeah.
here. Brett used to work at a gym, and I was like, yo, fuck the gym, bro. I was like, why don't you do it yourself?
I do owe a lot of my career to Chris.
And then eventually Brett texted me, he's like, I did it. I was like, sick. The guy who like was our contractor at our shop.
Dude, the Kool-Aid man.
He was working at this other job that was treating him like shit. And like one day he like came to the shop to like help us with something, and he was complaining about it. I was like, man, you're worth way more than this. Why are you letting these people do this to you? And like we like had like a really long conversation, and he's like in his 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And he like
Never too late. Dude.
a month
Never
later
too
he
late.
texted me. He's like, I took your advice, man. I took the leap.
Yep.
I started my own company again.
Yep.
He's like, I'm so happy. And I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm waiting for one dude to just go broke and pin it all on me.
Yeah, he's like, I listen to Chris, and now me and my
He's
wife
holding
are on
a
the
grudge.
street.
he's like in a box. He's like, Chris. You know?
And I'm like,
He just opens like a pocket watch and just has a picture of Chris, and he's like, son of a
yeah.
bitch.
I'm like 5 out of 6
Yeah.
times.
Dude,
Works great.
honestly, though, I was,
Sucks to be the one.
honestly though, there's a lot to that. Like my mom, as like a quick aside, she's a school teacher, and she was working this
Shouts out
job.
to Mitch's mom.
That's dope.
Yeah, I love my mom. She was a teacher for a while, and she ended up quitting, and she ended up working this job at an Air Force base close to where we're from, and the job was just very unfulfilling for her. She just was working super hard all the time, and she just wasn't getting a lot out of it, and I think she felt like she was going to be stuck there forever. And she got offered this position for like a lot less money doing something different, but it was like more like what she wanted to do, and she like agonized over like taking the leap. Like you always like, I mean, I spent like weeks thinking about whether or not I was actually gonna like tattoo or whatever.
I
but
knew you
It's
would.
always tough to.
yeah,
I knew
but
you would.
she did it. She ended up quitting, and she started doing the other job, and it was hard for her for a bit. But I remember talking to her, and I was like, you know, like I'm really like proud of you for doing that, because it's better. I mean, this is gonna be such a cliche, but it is better for you to try doing something like that and it blow up in your face and it
Yep.
not work out, than for you to have spent the next 15 years of your life working for this job that you think sucked, and you being like, I could be doing something a lot more meaningful, and you get to the end of that and be like, man, I didn't even try. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought, like, I don't ever want to be like 90 years old in a retirement house or something community, thinking that, what if I tried, rather than just doing it at all. Like
Yeah.
I was an actor for a while. I've stepped away from it right now, but like I would have never discovered so much about myself, and talking about being free, like
Yeah.
being able to express myself. I've always been very reserved, and like that's what it taught me, and that's what I got from it. So I know now that if I were to die tomorrow, I know that I at least gave it a shot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Oh,
wish
yeah.
more people experienced that.
You know, and even if you know, like we have like a 5-year lease at the shop, and like at the moment I see no reason why like we wouldn't like renew it, you know.
Mhm.
But if for whatever reason something like happens and we don't, we fucking did it.
This
Yeah.
has already been the
You know?
coolest, like the coolest like year. We're only like what?
We're not
7 months
even,
into being
we're not
there?
even in the
Like,
first year of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the shop opened
October, right?
October 27th.
Mm-hmm.
I've had more fun like working and stuff like this stretch of time than I've ever had doing like anything.
Dude, that's
So,
what I'm saying. I think about that every day, because like me and John work pretty early in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, God, I gotta get up in the morning, and then I think I'm like, I get to fucking hang out with John for an hour,
Yeah.
and then I get
Yeah.
to hang out with my buddy Garrett, and then I get to hang out with Chris and Michael, and it's like, this is fucking dope. I'll wake up as early as I got to.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, I love it. And then they're like, you know, being able to do this is like an extension of it. Like, I mean, I know it's like a tattoo podcast, but we're just gonna have our friends on it.
Yeah, we're
like,
honestly this stuff is fun. Getting to like come sit around and just talk about stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Dude.
It's nice to like sit for a couple hours, put the phone down, like
Yeah.
turn off, and just shoot the breeze.
Yeah.
Dude, just hang out.
yeah.
It's important too.
I feel like I
Truly.
mentally need it.
Yes,
'Cause
I agree.
So much of our job is like on our phone and promoting ourselves and talking to people, and I don't know, I feel like if anyone does end up like watching this, they'll have like a really good feel for like who we are as people.
Yeah.
And I feel like that like relaxes like
Mhm.
people like going into getting tattooed, because they'll
Mhm.
understand, hey man, you don't have to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like everybody's
you
had that
anyway.
scary situation of you go into like a shop and you're like, I'm going to get this, and I have no idea who my artist is. Are we going to get along?
Mm-hmm.
I hope this goes well because we're here for 6 hours and he's going to hurt me.
It always
man.
makes me laugh though. On just a really quick aside, whenever you meet somebody for the first time and they're like, "Man, like I hope this tattoo like pops off," and it's like, "Yeah, man, me too."
Me
You know?
too.
Yeah, honestly.
Like I had a guy the other day say that he's like, "Yeah, like, if this goes well, I'll book another one." I was like, "It's gonna be fine,
Yeah,
bro." You
it's
know,
gonna go
and
well.
he booked another one,
it's,
but
it's like, man, don't stand in your own way.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it's
gonna be
all right, man. It's gonna be okay.
I mean, I deal with that with my clients too. It's like you think
Dude,
you
shut
don't
up,
want
bro.
you don't want people to worry about coming in and being like, I mean, Chris was just saying like, I don't want people to think that I'm some coach that's gonna. It's not me against you. It's gonna be me and you working together.
Yeah.
It's a fun time. I try and find some sort of commonality that we have together, and we'll talk about that for an hour, and then you'll feel better ultimately anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what helps me too is at least like with working out and everything, because like we do get along and everything. Like, you know what I do for a living.
Yeah.
So there are days where I'm like, hey man, like my back is just like not good, you know. Like, you're not gonna be like shut up and do it anyway.
Yeah.
We'll be like, cool, like we'll like change things to like make it better.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that's a very, very positive thing to have.
You know, it's a great, like, analogous thing to that with tattooing.
That's a good word.
Is
Couldn't use
Well-
the word analogous, Mitch.
thank you. Well, Brett doesn't want to hurt you. He wants to help you
Yeah.
achieve your goal. Just like that, when you were doing a tattoo, you do not want to hurt the person.
Yeah.
Like, we are not trying to harm you or make it like insufferable or anything.
But if I
like
don't
that.
listen to Brett, then I'm gonna make it harder on myself.
That is
Yeah.
exactly where I was going with that. I was going to
Amen,
say, it's-
brother.
if you don't,
Amen.
if you don't take the advice of the
Yeah.
person, you can end up in a bed all jacked up.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
really, but
Well, no, like,
I
no,
mean,
seriously. Like,
yeah.
if like I don't listen to Brett, I could fuck myself up.
yeah,
Yeah, like,
And if you don't listen to me, you're gonna have a fucked up tattoo on you.
yeah.
I mean, like,
I mean, we wouldn't do like that. There's a point where it's like, well, my name is attached to this, so I can't
Sure.
do
well,
something.
yeah. If I
butchered.
end up in the hospital and Coach Brett Owens was there,
Yeah.
you know that.
Yeah, it says a lot.
Yeah.
But I just was thinking about that, and I was like, that's kind
It
of
is. It is analogous, Mitchell.
like if Chris
You like
says
that
don't
word?
move and you go, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And just jerk your arm out from under there.
All of a sudden, you got a crazy line.
Yeah, I mean,
You do have to move a lot more than you think you do to really mess up a tattoo, though. Like,
Depends on what you're doing.
that's what I've heard.
yeah,
I'm in there doing the 32 teeth on guts, and you decide
Dude,
to like
and the
shift,
molars?
and all of a sudden he got braces.
you make it work. It's cool.
Dude, this is the story arc where he got an orthodontist.
I
You were like he
love
would
that
have did
one.
Invisalign, but you know too many golds. Like he couldn't afford.
His orthodontist is a horse.
Not that kind of horse.
No, it kicked him in the face and knocked him out. And then he's
Now
like,
I'm scared to go to the orthodontist.
All right. Do we have another topic that we have to hit?
Chris, can you tell the otter story?
Oh, it's pretty brief.
That's good.
Didn't you
That's
also
fine.
have a
That
story?
was the last question.
Wasn't there a cliffhanger in the last episode or something? Somebody had a story that they were like, if you want to hear about it. Was that a thing?
I think
Oh,
the
I ever-
last like two I had one, but I ended up telling the Winnie the Pooh story, the
remember
Wasp story, and there was no.
Maybe
one that I
that's
told
what it
too.
I
was.
Kroger
I think
girl
I've already
last
done
week. Update on that. The girl in my Instagram story that everyone DM'd me about. That is not the Kroger girl. So we're still on the
I
hunt.
would have loved that. Oh, that would have been so great.
We all were.
Everybody was freaking out.
like, dude, you did it.
Yeah.
That would have been the coolest.
She said
thing
she will
ever.
take the role of it, but she is still out there, and we need to find her.
Michael's still looking for love.
I am still
in
looking
all the
for
wrong aisles of Kroger.
I'm just in that one
She's out
alternative
there. Don't
cheese
worry.
section.
You got to go to the milk section where like all the milk is in like the dry food area.
Man.
That's where you're gonna find the right.
I hang out at the alternative milks, and then I hang out in the manga section of
alternative milk.
at the Books a Million, just waiting for her to show up. She'll be there.
Milk dressed up with like a scene. From
Gerard Way or something like that.
Yeah. The alternative milk.
WHE.
It's dyed red. It's just
Okay, otter stories.
Otter. Yeah, the otter story. So I guess it started because our friend Devin really loves otters.
yeah. And he DM'd the shop yesterday, going, "Can you guys talk about otters?"
Yeah, and I really love otters also because I've come to the realization.
Shouts out Devin, dude. Love you,
Yeah.
baby.
I love any animal that if in its face it looks like a cat.
Yeah,
Like if you zoom up on that bull and you're like, that's kind of cat-like.
it's a water cat.
I'm in, dude. They're beautiful.
Yeah,
I love otters so much.
me too.
I went to the zoo, and there were these two otters swimming on their backs, being sweet. You know, they're snaking around in the water like they do. And I saw something that, unfortunately, a group of small children also witnessed.
That's how it goes.
And you know it's bad when the parents are like, "Don't look, Timmy," you know? Yeah, I saw an otter suck another otter's dick.
Hell yeah, dude.
What? There you go.
It was floating on its back, and it was doing this thing.
What?
Dude, same.
And the other otter was just like,
John, can you put the clip from earlier?
God.
Please and thank you.
And it wasn't just like, what is this? It knew what it was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the otter that, like, the other otters talk about.
That's the otter my mom
what
warned
zoo
me
are
about.
I just want to say
I wanna
really
go.
quick.
Carolina, dude.
I imagine that is not what Devin was referring to. He's
what he
like,
wanted.
Can you guys talk about
I
otters?"
can ask him.
Oh,
Hey, but
man.
look, if you're going to talk about otters, that's my personal story with
What
otters.
else are we gonna talk about, dude?
Hold on.
Talk about them performing fellatio.
Yeah, they're cute, but they also kind of like,
Let me.
Suck some dick every now and then.
nature's wild.
Dude, he's
Michael,
he's active right
it's
now.
just like Michael the
Devin.
other night. He was looking out the back porch, and there were these two deer, and they were 69ing.
Amen.
You know, nature's just crazy.
I don't even have a.
I saw
The
that.
deer out here are very.
I saw that.
domesticated.
That was crazy.
Look,
Yeah, it was a mom deer and a child
I
deer.
saw that and it was crazy.
Wait, you didn't see that?
No. What are you?
So
talking
I'm
yeah.
standing here in the I'm standing in the kitchen, and I look outside and go, "Oh shit! Look at those deer!" I was like, "They're so cute." I'm gonna go take a picture. Because it was like a mom deer and a child deer, and I was like, "Bro, this is fucking touching my heart right now." So I go to the sliding door, and they are fucking 69ing. Like the mom deer is eating the shit out of the baby deer's butt, and baby deer is like in the crevice, like, "Oh yes, mom, please," like. You know, like getting in there, and I'm like, bro, what is this? So I recorded
Maybe
it.
it was a
Hey, here's the
stepmom.
thing, Mitch. Like normally I'm backing you up at this point
Yeah.
because we're kind of right there on most of this.
Yeah, I
But
feel you.
this one, he's not overselling it. That's
Yeah.
what was happening.
it was exactly like that. Hold on. And you know what I have to say about this? I feel like this is fate, by the way.
God. All right. So I was gonna say I have to leave shortly. So I was like,
Okay, let me say this really quick.
All right.
Okay,
I
because
want
I
to leave it
honestly
on that note. though.
no. Let me say. So this, it feels like fate that Michael saw this because when we were kids, every Christmas, Michael's mom, Mitch is now watching the video.
I think.
No, Mitch.
You can't
She's
make
trying
it
to
up.
clean her
Mitch.
kid off.
Mitch.
But
It is.
why is it reciprocated, Mitch?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
One of them feels bad about it.
I don't know.
So-
It's his stepmom.
What are you doing?
What are you doing, step deer?
deer?
I said that
stuck
joke
in the
already,
forest.
nobody reacted
I'm
to
stuck
it.
in the forest and I can't get out. When Michael and I were kids,
Y'all are crazy.
Michael's
this is
mom.
good.
Michael's mom used to have these like a family of reindeer. It was like a dad, a mom, and like a kid reindeer.
Those are like wicker reindeer with the lights in them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she'd always put them out, and it became tradition like that we would go up front. We would make the reindeers mate. So we would take the male reindeer and put it like
And mount the female deer.
So it was it was in the position, and we'd always turn the kid away, because
Can't be
it's
watching.
appropriate, right?
Yeah.
So we did that for years. Eventually, at a certain point,
dude.
the antlers like went missing,
They fell off of the male deer, so then we had two female deer.
and so we then changed positions or whatever. And Michael's mom will get so mad. And the first year it happened, my mom was really mad. And I don't know what happened, but the second year she's like, "Yo, this shit's funny."
My mom said some very questionable things about the homosexual deer on her yard.
Yeah.
She was like, "This is the Lord's birthday, and y'all boys are just out here making these deer lick each other.
Y'all are making the deer gay.
Yeah, and
There's
and Michael and
chlorine
I
in the water.
and Michael and I are like, we're like,
Bro, I'm
Look.
like 16. I'm like, these deer are gonna get it.
yeah, like we are in there for the deer. The deers have rights. Let the deers be
we
free.
would sit there. We would be opening presents, and we would lock eyes across the room, and he'd be like, "Is it time?"
Yeah,
I'd
so
be
we would
I
have
was
to.
like, "It's
so
time."
it became like a thing where like the third year or so, like
man.
they knew we were gonna do it, so we had to like sneak out and do it. We like crawled through a window once to do it.
Yep.
When it was tradition. And Michael and I'd be like, Michael's mom would always be like, "I can't have the neighbors looking at the gay deer," like
Yeah.
because Michael's mom. No, I'm not a fan. And she would always say
Dude, shouts out my mom.
questionable things about it, and she'd be very mad. And Michael and I were like, "Nah, dude, this is tradition now."
Yeah.
And man, we did it every year for probably 10 years.
I did it. I think the last time we did it was maybe 4 years ago.
I gotta run. I gotta tell you guys, I love each and every one.
Well,
of
this
you.
is
Mitch,
the end. This is the
Mitch,
end,
shout out, call out a state before you go.
Oh man. How about North Dakota?
Fuck you, North
Yeah,
Dakota.
what's up there? Grass?
Wow.
What they got?
Wow, you can't even have one big Dakota.
Can I do
Fucking
one this
losers.
time? I got one.
Call out a state, dude.
Idaho.
Oh, that's
No,
potato
dude,
place.
potato.
Man.
That's all they got.
That's a good thing to
Idaho.
have.
You got nothing but potatoes. Name one other thing they got.
Dude, he's calling
Oh,
out
there's a
Berserk
Slipknot.
and Idaho.
Berserk
Okay.
and
That's
Idaho.
Iowa.
That's your one
What the
podcast,
heck,
Chris.
dude? What
Kinda.
the flip?
Brett, hit us with a celebrity call out.
Ooh.
Who do you
Y'all are
hate?
gonna have to give me a second.
Think carefully on
Okay.
this. We talked about this, Brett.
Chris Jericho.
We talked about this. We talked about this yesterday. Your
Oh,
celebrity
no.
call out.
Who?
This is premeditated.
BS.
Uh-oh. It's in code.
Fuck Brendan Schaub.
Yeah,
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
he's a weird dude.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Dude, I love it. Shouts out Chris Jericho.
Shout
Shouts out-
Shout out Chris Jericho.
Shouts out Batista.
I hope you're watching.
Fuck North Dakota.
Well,
And Brendan Schaub.
as much as I hate to have ended it on the deer story,
Why? That's a story about love.
That's a good story.
you're right. That's fair.
All
So
deers.
convincing.
All deers deserve love, Mitch.
Yeah.
Sure.
You gotta be an ass about it.
Whoa.
Is that like a donkey thing?
Yeah.
That's what,
Okay.
that's what I thought you were saying.
Well,
Oh, Mitch, really quick. Mitch is wearing shorts. Show the party dot.
Show the
so
dot,
to you,
dude.
Like,
You have to like stand up, dude.
all right.
This is Mitch's dot from when he stabbed himself.
Yeah.
Is it on camera?
That's my first dried rose right there.
There's a camera.
See? You had a big old dot right there.
Nice.
All right. Well, Mitchell's got to go, and it's been a good time.
We've really loved having you on here, Brett.
I love
Yeah.
being
Shouts
here,
out to
dude.
Brett.
Brett, what is
love
your
you.
at,
Brett, what's the at one more time?
At Coach_Brett_Owens.
bro?
You want
Maybe?
some positivity in your life? Go follow me.
dude?
Brett
I've
Brett
got
does be
games
making
now.
those reels, dude.
I do.
I've got games now because of Brett.
Yeah.
It's real. The yard is working.
If you're wondering why Chris doesn't fit in frame, it's because he's jacked.
It's Brett's.
Me and Jack.
I told Brett when I
That's
started
weird.
personal
Oh,
training.
dude, I'm so big.
I told Brett when I
kidding.
started personal training, I was like, Brett, I can't fit through doors. I want to not fit through them in a different way.
Hell yeah. And I said, I got you, buddy.
There we
All
are.
right. Well, Mitch, love you.
Love you.
guys
Kisses.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, buddy.
Kisses and love.
For the touch. I need that.
All right. Bye, Mitch.
There
I
he
guess
goes.
we're all leaving anyway. So
Yeah.
Dude,
That's that short guy from the shop.
that is the short guy who works at my shop.
that's the short guy.
Hell yeah.
That guy's so short.
Sick.
Take us out, Michael.
Well, guys, it's been real and it's been fun. But can I say it's been real fun?
You know, it has.
Check in for episode 5 where I answered this question and more.
Let me leave you with this too.
Oh,
The podcast wasn't short, but you know what is short? Mitch.
Hey, man.